starting with Weeha, maybe even you talk about Envy there. He's brought along some of these younger players in LAN so well, and that's part of it. Handling how you bounce back from the loss.
Yep, true. 6,062 points is the margin right now of mathematically being able to go through. There is only one team here that can reach that at this event if they win it, and that is Secret. But Liquid have 3,510, which means if they get 2,250, 5,700 is pretty good. And I don't think that's going to stop them getting to TI.
Realistically, the threshold is probably around 3K. Yes. So realistically, these two teams probably in already.
Yep. All right, let's get into our first draft.
What do you guys think is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quickly, Fog, did you think going into this that Secret looked better than Liquid? Into this tournament, let's say.
It's hard, isn't it? Because Genting had the stand-in.
Yeah.
They had the issue, so you can't really measure them from that.
Let's say going into Genting.
Going into Genting, yes.
Yeah.
I did think so.
Okay, but now, do you think Liquid looks better than Secret? Because I do.
Yeah.
I do think so.
From what they've shown, surely, right?
I think they just look so strong. They look so confident. Is the
Even though they've had that
me.
one loss, drop down.
It's always the question when you're evaluating these teams, like, what's your horizon, right? Because I think we have a tendency to maybe overweight these recent series especially when the fields have become so close at these events. I tend to take a longer view, but I agree with you guys. I've liked Liquid's recent form just a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. So who do you think is actually, for me, the most important thing for Secret is making sure Fada can have a good game. That's what I've been seeing, at least for them. When he starts to struggle, I feel like that whole team doesn't have anything to back up on. Sure, Puppy and Yapster, they make moves around the map, but when I see Fada, like when he was playing that Tidehunter, when he doesn't have a big impact on the game, they struggle super hard. And I think Liquid, they're going to be able to recognize that too.
I think that point is particularly well taken, particularly in light of what we saw last night, where the big game for Secret was that 5th pick of Baden, where he had such a synergy and such an impact together with that Ursa. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable point.
And be able to get Ace the edge when it comes to the draft as well, and whatever hero he has, it needs to be a stronger, because of the fact that Liquid is so good frequently at being able to shore up their lanes quite a bit. Like, if they get those kind of like very self-sustained solo type heroes and allow their 2 supports to be able to roam around, you want to make sure that Ace is such an impactful hero that it in turn creates problems for Liquid. They need to make sure that Liquid aren't just happy with the 1v1 against Ace. So I would say that's the other point. Those are like the 2 cores that you have to think about.
I was wondering if this hero is going to actually get banned out, because I know both of them favor it really highly, and it's the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Because we've now been seeing the rise of it even more so. People are talking about, there's some counters to it, in particular that Lifestealer, which hurts him a lot, but overall, in the grand scheme of the game, that hero just has such an absurd impact.
But now, so for so many of the drafts, right, it's insta-click Razor, and Liquid has gone with that in the first phase, first overall several times. By the way, Flogged, I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I actually think you're so it's the Razor. I think Fog is right, because looking over the hero selection, if you look at Fata, 13 games on Tide, 9-4, over 5 games on no other hero. They're really looking for a steady alternative for him to the Tide.
What I was going to bring up was, do you think this is one of those games, Fogged, where because they know each other so well, Kuro and Puppy, there is that element of mind games, but then double mind games where they actually mind game themselves by talking themselves out. Oh, he thinks we'll pick the Razor, so let's not pick the Razor, which is actually what Puppy wanted them to do.
There's
an element of that in there.
I mean, there's going to be ridiculous mind games, right? We look and look, Naga's in the pool.
Naga Disruptor is both in the pool.
They just take the Razor, so that because they might be thinking, oh, if we pick Razor, they might also just do what we do, pick Terrorblade. So yeah, we're definitely going to see massive amounts of mind games coming up between this. Just from the start, too. These bans, we see Rubik sanking Bane first 3 banned by Liquid. They're like, all right, let's leave the board open. Let's change the way this game
What?
And there you go. Mind games.
Task Undying. Okay, all right. Well, not completely outside of what Secret
they picked
have played.
Undying.
Tusk is fine.
Undying is inside of Puppy's most played top 10, but it's on the very edge of it.
And they played it here, right? I think I saw them play earlier in this tournament, or am I wrong?
In this
Honestly,
tournament?
don't know. And
I don't think I saw
Tusk,
maybe I just saw an Undying and it wasn't them.
So I mean, he's 1-1 on the hero as Puppy since January 1st. Yeah. I think it's the first Undying pick that we've seen.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
they picked it. They picked it. Liquid picked it in the last game at Dream League.
Yeah, and I don't think it's been picked here at all. No, it hasn't. It is a first pick right now. And
if you dispose of the other Titans, I think Undying is probably the support that wins you, is the stabilized laner that is the strongest when it comes to that harassment focus.
This is one of the known heroes that is just the dominator of Undying.
This is like 10D chess, man.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go into 4-5 with Terrorblade banned, right?
Yeah, Liquid, they're going to take out TB.
think Red are going to lose their mind. This is 200 IQ drafting.
Yeah, we knew this was going to happen, right?
Yep, we did.
We
They
did.
banned Gyro as well.
For who? Liquid?
On Liquid.
I think they
Because if you look at
Yes.
Secret's lineup, right, they have Undying Tusk.
Do you know,
have
I
Gyro
don't
on top of
envy
that.
either of any of you guys. I really don't. During these drafts.
What are you talking about? This is amazing.
No, but it must be really tough for you to kind of pick what's going to happen because I don't even think they know what's going to happen.
Picking heroes is impressive, but it's kind of a parlor trick. Like this, to me, this is an opportunity to sort of get inside the minds of two of the best captains in the world and understand why they're doing what their teams are trying to achieve.
Good luck with
Like
that.
that's amazing to me.
Good luck
DK
with
as
that.
well.
Dude, I don't think that they banned the Gyro. I think the Gyro they're okay with
Okay.
the Phantom Lancer because PL it's that matchup that you can deal with. If you get ahead on PL, Gyro just becomes pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah, for
TB,
me,
though,
it's the fact that you have really good enablers with the Gyrocopter and this Undying Tusk. But I think maybe DK is also another problem.
Do you like Viper for Secret?
I wouldn't really think that they would pick it. I think Undying and Viper, it's such an immobile draft versus Phantom Lancer. I think you can just get split up too hard around the map.
Okay.
Sure, laning phase you might be able to dominate, but mid game, like those heroes don't move. Those
Yeah,
heroes
you want
are all
to
about
speak
grouping.
of parlor tricks. I think that like the whole Nether Toxin W against the Phantom Lancer, I don't think it's like it's not a hard counter.
It's not a
It's
hard
like a
counter.
small
but
trick counter.
All right, fair enough.
You could play
Fair
around it as the PL a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
AA gets taken out.
5 seconds remaining.
Razor also limits one of the other pretty key heroes for Ace, which is the Lone Druid. And I'm not sure how you feel about Broodmother in these situations either.
Well, the two other heroes that have been Ace's go-tos behind the ones that you mentioned are the Luna and the Lifestealer. And I think
Don't want to play
Yeah.
Lifestealer by any means.
Luna, I
versus
think,
this
is
draft.
right. Luna's good, and another one that they've sort of been pulling out at the tail end of drafts. They've been fifth picking Troll Warlord, which I quite like.
I think they had that matchup against a Lifestealer. And then that Luna game, they left a Terrorblade out in the game. But here, Liquid are unlikely to pick it as their third core. So that is possible. You do have problems with Razor, though. Like, that's actually a traditional kind of where you just, like, latch onto a Luna with BKB.
Interested to see what the GH hero here will be as well.
Yeah, they opened up with 2 cores. Like we said, we don't see that too often. And
Okay. This is a hero they obviously believe in for
Yeah.
mid one. I mean, we're seeing it first phase.
first phase they did it. Now they did it
Yeah.
on opening third pick.
Look at it's the kind of the corollary to the concern that you guys were expressing about mobility. When
Yeah.
Secret, they know they want to be able to split the map here.
Oh, they banned Earthshaker.
Yeah, they banned the ES.
Yes.
Secret banned.
I was like, that could have been a secret hero. Huh. I guess they can't run it as a support, so.
I don't know. Are we gonna see Whisper or Spirit here for GH?
Earth Spirit looks solid. Doesn't match up in the so good versus Undying or Tusk, but he can obviously punish Storm.
Oh, Rubik's still in the pool as well.
Wisp still there as well.
I don't like Wisp or Earth Spirit so much because of those supports.
I think Earth Spirit's playable, but yeah, Wisp is risky. I just like the Rubik as I like the Rubik here because either Kuro or GH can play it.
Like Rubik or Disruptor.
Yeah. Disruptor, I think you run into I think you run into a little bit of potential trouble with the lanes.
Are they gonna go
'Cause
Naga?
Undying could just run at you.
I think it's more about the grand scheme of the game, not just the lanes, because they've already got Razor, so they're like, okay, one lane's ours for the most part. And versus Undying and Tusk, you already know these are the 2 supports. So double melees, and Storm, they've got a lot of close range heroes. Disruptor can abuse that pretty hard.
If they go the Naga Disruptor, like it's a huge counter to Storm in a lot of ways, and I feel like Naga is one of the heroes that can kind of contest the Undying when it comes to owning the lanes.
Underlord, Surly.
So what about the
Underlord
chain
into
for
a Razor
Liquid now?
as well,
Underlord into the Razor, and
because they could do PL like in a different lane and just
Yeah.
Razor in the 1v1.
this is like a very I don't know how else to really describe it. It's like all kind of melee in a way versus Disruptor, who thrives when everybody groups up. You get much better chances of getting your Static Storm off in all situations.
I do think the Naga pick makes a lot of sense. Taking a lot of time here. Down to 20 seconds of reserve time.
2 picks left as well.
Yeah,
That's hard because a lot of the traditional picks are just all taken out at the moment.
What about the Chen?
I think that Kuroki normally plays the Disruptor for Liquid.
He does.
So, and he's also the Chen player.
Yep.
So I wouldn't imagine they would go for that one.
And you don't quite have the setup.
There's
They go
okay.
the IO.
I
go for the
really
IO.
like that. Yeah, you turn around once you see the Underlord. I think the IO comes back on board because you want an answer to that ability of Team Secret to move around the map.
Is there still a Beastmaster available? There is a Beastmaster
Oh, yes.
available. I think they could go for IO Beastmaster for MC.
I think that would be amazing.
And then they can put the Razor versus the Underlord and the PL versus the Storm.
Do you think the Brood is still in play for Secret?
Beast and DK, actually.
Yeah, Beast and DK, those are the two that I
So-
was thinking.
That's the thing, is whenever you go into the last pick, you have to have an alternate choice, right?
Mhm.
I think the Brood could definitely be one of those options. Then they're pretty much all melee though.
I think the Brood and the Lundred are still even into the Razor. Like that's the thing. I know, but teams in this tournament, the top teams have been willing to pick that LD into the Razor.
Give me some Meepo.
That's what's causing me
Give
to
me some
doubt myself.
Meepo.
Beast gets banned.
Dude, Meepo is
Give me some Meepo. Ace.
Meepo is a sick call.
Give me
actually.
some Meepo Ace. Then they're all melee and they're just ready to go. And then they do take out the Beast. So I think that other one, like you said, the DK looks like one of those big options.
10 seconds.
Unless they
5 seconds
Huh.
remaining.
thinking they still could.
Huh.
No, it's gonna be Miracle playing the PL. So
You're thinking like side lane Razor.
And there's the
right?
They
okay,
banned the
there's
PL,
the Brood
and
ban.
then
I
they
felt
could
that
do
they had to do that.
like a safe lane OD or something.
So you guys like DK here?
I feel like that's the most normal pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Huh.
Out of all the other offlaners,
Oh man.
I mean, like we said, these guys are just.
Yeah.
This is gonna be some interesting drafts coming.
Mind games upon mind games.
Yeah. So that would
Upon
be.
mind games.
That's gonna be mind control.
Yeah, and this is the first time that Liquid have picked Enchantress this year.
so do you think the
Huh.
the Wisp in Enchantress's sustain, is that enough to make this like not a great Storm game? Because our choices all included like a decent amount of sustain, but like they also
Yeah.
had lockdown, right? Naga, Dragonite. They weren't heroes that were.
There's
your
your
Meepo.
Meepo!
Oh, I got
my
it, hell yeah.
God.
Good call.
Way to go,
That's
Fox.
sick.
Yeah, I think that's a
I
great
think they
pick
won
here
the draft
too.
with that.
Big time.
That's the one I was thinking.
GG. Like, no, I shouldn't say that because this is gonna
You
be an
shouldn't
amazing
say that.
game.
This
we
is gonna be awesome.
We do get a Meepo. It is the
Oh.
91st different hero used and picked at this tournament as well. Has it made the difference in the drafting decisions, Fogged?
Let's go, Meepo. I haven't seen it in a while. I know
Okay.
this hero can be abused
The
a bit, but
choices are Liquid or
I
Secret, but
I'm
you've got
excited.
Meepo. I
I'm
like
excited
it.
for
Okay.
Meepo.
It's a combination of AoE and it deals with split push from Wisp as well, really well. I like it.
Yeah.
Secret.
Okay.
I think that this is actually closer than it might seem. The Meepo pick is a very good one. I think the first round, though, of this chess match goes to Puppy and Secret.
All right. Okay, let's find out. We'll bring in our commentary team. Boys, it is time for the quarterfinals. Liquid versus Secret. And you've got yourselves a Meepo.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. I'm also very sad about the series because I don't
Yeah.
want to see either of these teams go home.
No, quite.
But this is fantastic. We get Meepo, we have Mind Control Enchantress. We're mixing things up a little bit here, Blitz. So not your standard run-of-the-mill day Dota.
No, it's not. And I think the first series kind of set that up already, that today is not going to be an average day. at
I
all.
blinked. I missed it.
That was weird. I still can't get over that first series. I know we're supposed to talk about the second one, but
Do you want to give a quick wrap up? Just at least clear, like just cleanse your thoughts of it before we focus on this one.
I mean, I kept saying that newbie is like the team that drops like random series to people, but there's like a different level to that, right? Because losing in like 17 minutes and getting crushed in like 2 games in a row like that,
Yeah.
you expect a lot out of newbie, and it just shows like the cool thing about that is it shows like how random Dota can be in terms of like it'll depend on the matchup, who's playing who, what the drafts look like. So it's very hard to say like, oh, this team's garbage, this team's good, because you never know, right?
Yeah. There's so many things like hey, Meepo gets picked up, you think the pick is really, really good. The panel, I feel really sorry for you guys when you're up there every single time. This is the team that will win this one. You never know.
Yeah.
And anything is going to be possible.
I mean, Fnatic, like, what do you think the odds were before that series? Like, realistically
But
speaking, right?
even the odds, like, about 1 minute before the end of that series.
Yeah.
like, it was all favoring Team Secret.
Yeah, that was one of the weirder series that I've been a part of. Like, this tournament in general has just been really odd. But who knows? I mean, I'm really excited for this one because this would have been my #1 and #2 team in the world. So what I like to do before every tournament is I like to just poll the players that I know and say like, okay, who do you think is the best team? And it was actually pretty 50-50 split. Like a lot of people said Secret, which would have been my choice.
Yeah.
But a lot of people also said Liquid. Like those were almost always at the. Nobody said newbie, nobody said VP. It was either.
I was waiting for the VG call in there somewhere.
It was either Liquid or Secret. I mean, Vici, they're doing it in one tournament. They still have a lot of Dota to play. But these were, for most people, the consensus 1A, 1B. We'll find out the order right now. Liquid has had sort of a... It feels like a mental block versus Secret. Like, they've been struggling against them. They lost 3-0 in Dream League, although all 3 of those games were very good. And they ended up getting 2-1 at ESL Hamburg, right? At the last ESL Major. And so far, Secret feels slightly better in this matchup, but this is kind of where Liquid gets to correct it all.
Well, we'll see if they can. We just get a feeling of our lanes now. So Miracle is running that PL in mid with GH roaming IO against mid 1 Storm Spirit. Not a hero we've seen be that successful, or at least be the real reason why a team has been successful. Yapsaw sitting behind them as always. This is just classic Yapsaw for this entire tournament. Just try and create some problems for that mid lane and secure mid 1 his time. Fada playing the hero that unraveled Team Secret yesterday against Matamaman's Razor. And then down the bottom, the Meepo. Team Liquid actually came down here to break a whole bunch of trees and put down that one dire Observer ward. Do you think there's actually like a set reason too where they want to clear out the trees? Is it watching the pulls? Is it watching Ace die under the tower? The Thunderstrike will be enough. Mind Control with his attack will reach it and get the kill.
Add the pause to reflect on your mistakes. So remember you asked me, by the way, you said they picked Undying. And I said instantly, I said it's because they anticipate Liquid to take
The IO?
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, how's that meant to like directly counter? Like you pick up the Undying, you're just like, okay, so this hero, why does it work so well against the IO?
It's like strength-based heroes. Undying just decays. You're almost always going to get a 2-man decay. Tomb is very nice. But that's why Liquid also take PL, because PL takes down the Tombstone so fast. So it's like a hero counters hero. And Liquid, I think Secret were trying to dissuade picks. That's kind of been like the story of the tournament when it comes to the draft is, if I take this hero, I want to make sure that you're not going to take what I think you're good at. Like it's preempting it almost. But Liquid do it anyways.
Starts his TP out. GH was only coming down to pick up that 2-minute rune so he could bottle it up. But ends up actually forcing the Undying to TP all the way back to base. And as well as picking up the Illusion rune.
And mid one makes me so sad.
Why sad?
Because it's like, I really need Storm to see some buffs.
So you don't want mid one to have a successful game?
Yeah, he always wins with that hero. Like, nobody else seems to win with it, but he does.
But it seems to work. Like, he wins with a hero because Fada is a real player. I think Fox was saying this thing yesterday, where he's just like, as long as Fada is actually a real player in a game, then Team Secret, especially mid one, always does well.
Yeah. I would agree with that, but at the same time, mid one is a beast on this hero. He's one of my favorite Storms. Feels like he's one of the few people that actually, I think the only person that I've seen win with this hero in quite some time, so.
It takes a lot to impress you for a Storm Spirit.
Well,
look at this blocking Miracle! He uses the small illusion to actually stop him. The shards, it doesn't block! Miracle away! Almost the save from Yapsaw. Miracle just walks straight back down the mid lane.
That
You
was,
shouldn't have praised him, Blitz. You shouldn't have praised him.
it was worth it for that. That was very cool. Miracle, presence of mind, uses one of his illusions just to step in front. It's the little things that separate players like that.
Well, Puppy flips back on the bottom lane. Mind Control was already chipping away at him. There's the two-man, well, attempted decay. Actually didn't hit anybody with that, and still TP out to safety. He only just arrived back there. Gets blood in his uniform, has to go all the way home.
Ooh, I like that. He's still only level 1, by the way.
Yep.
The Puppy's had 0 impact in this game. The Meepo has been shoved out of this wave. Like, Meepo's a nice hero in this game, but it's hard to enable him because the Enchantress is so good at just setting up for these right-click fights. Normally when you play Inch... Oh,
And
hold that
GH
thought.
going to work together. Ace, he's already poofed away with that Meepo to try and farm up the camps, and now Ace will fall to Kuro. Stopping the pulls, these support combinations just been so active for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold too. That goes to just 2 supports. A lot of gold in XP. You slow down the Meepos farm, who hasn't even shown up in lane. So far, the game has been very difficult as mid 1 lays down a Remnant Trap, but Miracle gonna doppelganger away, and not the easiest start right now.
This is just some ballsy stuff from Puppy. He knows there's 3 heroes on the other side of this tree. He just hit level 2, he's holding the point. And finally, someone from Team Secret's coming down here, and it'll be Fada. He's got some decent levels, so he can easily stand down here alone. But now the lane change up. What, is mid 1 gonna go against the Razor? And then Ace has the mid lane? Is
No,
it,
he's gonna jungle for his 6.
that's it?
Yeah, you at this point, a Storm, you buy Clarities and you just jungle. The downside though is he already has Ace doing that. So right now, at 5 minutes into the game, you've got 2 cores that are actually just hitting jungle creeps. And if you think about that, oh, it's so sad because you don't want to be doing this.
Yep.
Nobody's even taking advantage of mid as a result. And
At least
Ace-
Yapsol's here to try and stop GH, but he's in range of Kuro for the tether, and Poppy knows it. Snowball actually grabbing in Ace. They'll need to get the shards out. No, he doesn't. But GH, where's the stun? There it is. Earthbind is there, but it does not cancel the TP. So GH, all the way back home, may reveal the fact that Liquid have that aggressive ward watching Ace's farm pattern.
Yes. I think they would have realized that after the second attempt on his life, but so far so good for Team Liquid. This is a very blistering pace. When Team Liquid has a good laning phase like this, it's rare to see them give up this kind of lead, and Secret in a position where they're not feeling very comfortable whatsoever. Normally it's Ace's game or mid one's game that is enabled Toby, but in this one, it doesn't feel like either of them are really getting any real estate on the map.
Yeah, mid one's just battling directly with Miracle. He's a little bit of experience behind, but like that's more of an even trade. Fada had bounced down to the bottom lane to try and take the farm down here, but Ace has still managed to find 33 CS. It's not that bad, but that doesn't really equate to net worth. He's sitting at 1.8k net worth to the 3k of Mind Control, who's number 1, and the rest of Liquid are right behind him. They have the 1, 2, and 3 position.
Yeah, it's really scary when you allow all 3 of Liquid's cores to get farmed, because normally it's somebody getting the tank job. It's like, oftentimes Matama Man will just get ganked repeatedly or draw the attention of the supports, but they haven't really needed to do that as Ace. Once again, he's going to get gone on.
Yeah, he was actually faking his initiation onto Miracle. Bakuro in through the side, able to actually catch Ace just on the edge. Ace faking up the poop so he can actually get the last poop where the damages. 18 HP, he'll survive. But that was close.
Exhale, Toby. I heard you go.
I don't think that was me. I think that was someone down the corridor, but yeah.
That was scary. I thought the 2 follow-up hits would do it, but they're just little scratches. Yeah, nobody hitting too hard on the side of Liquid, aside from Miracle.
It's a good escape for Ace, at least. Like that's one of those things he desperately needs to keep avoiding. Because Liquid, as you said, like they're a fast-paced team. They like to keep the momentum, grab the momentum, keep the momentum. So they need kills. They need to keep the pressure on. There's not easy delayers from Team Secret. Kind of like the downside about the Undying.
Radiant structures are
Especially when Yapsol still is not level 3 yet.
Yeah, in this mid lane, and there's 3 heroes mid on the side of Secret. I almost said 4, but that's just a Meepo. And they're not able to do anything about this. Miracle has already taken this tower to about half HP, even below that. He does a lot more damage to the tower than I anticipated, and no real response from Secret. We've talked about how important this mid tower is to the rest of the game, and the fact that they're able to do this at 8 minutes without a catapult does not bode well so far for Secret.
Fortification slowing things down. The Shah's just trying to keep Kuro out of the fight. Miracle looking for the last hit. Poppy gets the deny. So at least they remove some of the extra gold, but Miracle could just go for the kills instead. With the help of GH, who's tethered himself forward, they want to kill off YapzOr. Snowball available, and he's heading towards Miracle by the looks of it. Yep, straight back up the mid, and YapzOr, well, you can shard to try and slow down the wave, but that's going to be all. There is no assistance coming from Team Secret. Puppey and YapzOr are just taking it for the team.
And this is so problematic right now for Team Secret because we talked about how the early game is determined by your 4 positions. If you're a 4-position player, you need somewhere on the map to do something. You need to be able to kill somebody, pressure somebody. Where exactly is YapzOr supposed to go in this kind of draft? He can't really help his Meepo because it's an Enchantress. You're not going to go and gank a Razor, that's a dead lane hero. And a Phantom Lancer has an escape ability over your shards. So now you're in a position where all 3 of your cores can't do anything. Your 4 position doesn't really have a game. And look at that as one of the... There is no brakes on that train. Normally there's like a little bit of a bump. That is almost straight down.
They're thinking about a fight over onto Miracle. He's been hit by Decay a couple of times, and this is why mid-1 wants to jump forward. Has no points up in Electric Vortex, so no control ability onto Miracle, and here comes GH flying over the trees. Another Decay. Miracle, the shards are blocking him in, but it won't really matter. He's still got 17 one-shots up his sleeve, so they go for GH mid-1 and YapzOr teaming up on him. Fada, the Rift, it will not get him out to safety. And now they even glimpse YapzOr up and into the wall. He starts his TP, and Miracle just wants blood. He'll claim YapzOr. 7-1 on the board, and this game has escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's 6k gold at just 9 minutes into the game. They finally get themselves on the board. No shutout here, but Liquid are on a very steady roll so far. All 3 of their cores in very good shape right now. As Mind Control... This is the problem when you play against offlane Enchantress, is sometimes she gets these games where nobody wants to be in her lane, Toby.
Bottom lane, Fada, actually, he's got no Pit of Malice. They don't have a control.
Yeah, they have the one stun from the Tusk, and that's about it.
I kind of got semi excited because I'm like, you know what? Fada's just going to like lock him in position. The Rift comes in, YapzOr holds him in with shards, right? But this, yeah, not happening.
I'm still pretty certain that wouldn't be enough to kill, and that's why things feel pretty rough right now for Secret is they can't kill anybody. Dota is based on the fact like, okay, if we bring 3 heroes down here, we should be able to get a kill, but do they really kill this Enchantress? She's got a 10-minute Force Staff.
Yeah.
They don't have Magic Burst on their side.
And she keeps carrying this catapult with her, with the Blightstone, now the double catapult wave. Like, they need to react though, or else Mind Control is going to continue to take more and more buildings.
Yeah. Then they go hit Roshan, they take all your tier 2s and your tier 1s. Like, you got to make a play somewhere, smoke, try to gank one of the cores. I think Razor at this point might have been one of the easiest, but if you look, Muntama Man has already anticipated that.
Yeah. Miracle's also moved down to this bottom lane just to ensure tier 2 tower drops 11 minutes into the game. And Storm has to ball lightning away. Mid-1, not a lot of mana to work with here. I know where... No, they're not going to go up. They just claim more buildings. Yeah. They actually smoke. This was under vision of the Radiant Obs and Sentry Ward, so Team Secret are fully aware. Yeah, but Mind Control's in mid lane. This is going to be a quick tier 2.
You got to defend something. If you're on the side of Secret, you're watching Liquid right now just march down your base, take whatever they want.
But if you fight, you kind of out of the game, right? Like Ace is still trying to play catch-up game. Like he's just hit level 10. He's actually building Shadow Blade onto this Meepo.
He's trying to get Silver Edge so he can blow up the supports, and especially the Enchantress. She's kind of atop the problem list.
GH is on it. He understands that something is wrong. Ace actually TPing back with one of his Meepos, the one that just used the poof, and will escape as he understands that Liquid are on the hunt for him now.
Yes, very nice move by him. Getting aggressive into their own jungle. It seems so counterintuitive in Dota to go to the enemy side of the jungle when you're behind like this, but you have to take risks because you assume that when the enemy is that far ahead, they've warded everywhere on the outskirts. And so it's very dangerous to enter your own jungle by yourself.
And he is right. That Observer Ward's on the hillside to the north of the Radiant jungle. There's one on the bottom ramp, and there's one just east of the mid-tier 2 tower. Yeah. So Team Liquid have perfect coverage of anyone leaving the Team Secret base.
This is when you know you're ahead. You're showing 2 cores at once. Oftentimes in a game, Toby, when you're this far behind, what'll end up happening is you'll just go smoke and gank one or the other because you know for a fact that the 2 cores are separated. But they can show this Razor up at top and Mind Control in mid with total impunity because, well, they just don't think they can die.
Mid-1 actually coming, like, at least their observer ward. Okay, they're going to start creep skipping. So mid-1's moved between the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower and mid. Ace is farming up the Dire jungle on the southern side.
Kuro, he's got his ult too.
Oh, yeah, he does. He can
TP.
actually kill them all right now. But then again, there's your Earthbind holding him on the edge. Storm Spirit jumps over. So a nice kill for Ace, but the relocate will kill him. But at this point, there's actually a semi-even trade.
That is,
It'll go the way of Liquid by a little bit, just because it's Ace.
that's still kind of okay-ish.
Fada. Okay, he's okay. TP just in time.
That was closer than I thought it'd be.
Damage that Razor can steal so quickly, 112. Throwing out the Tuskar shards, Yapsol snowballed into Miracle, so there was no escaping this.
Is this just going to be the day of stomps?
I think so. Day of the 20 minutes, right?
I mean, I guess we're just done at 5.
Gone in 20 minutes.
I'm trying to figure out a way. I think that Secret, if I'm being realistic, it's difficult. Like, at this point, your chances of coming back are probably less than 15%. But if you are going to do it, it probably hinges on Ace fighting pickoffs as soon as he gets... I mean, I think he's still going for the Shadow Blade, so...
Yeah, he
picks
just
it up.
finished it.
If you get the Shadow Blade and you can get maybe two or so like big pickoffs.
Now here he goes, he's going to attempt it onto Miracle. That would be a huge kill if they can claim it. Fada's in the neighborhood. And a couple lands in the face. Now here comes the help, but Doppelganger is so quick they tried to predict the Pit of Malice, but it will not work. GH is there to hold Miracle's hand. Mid-1 burning so much mana, and Ace having to poof away to safety. All the mana burnt from
barely gets
Mid-1. And yeah, poor Meepo. Getting picked off on the way out. Fada,
Okay.
he's getting glimpsed and then just jumps back to base. Timing off by a fraction of a second for Kuro.
Kuro with the whoops.
The team would be very happy to go high ground now. 25 seconds. Either that or they just Roshan. There's a double damage room waiting for them outside the pit just to make life a little easier.
Liquid has learned that Secret refuses to fight them under any circumstance. And with that being the case, you're just going to avoid all fights at this point. They tried going for the pickoff like I suggested with the Shadow Blade, but they're so far behind right now, and the target that they opted to go for is probably the hardest one to kill.
Team Secret, they're coming over. GH, here comes the shards. Just keeping Liquid inside the pit. Poppy can get a pretty big decay out, and he's still got the Tombstone running around, so they're going to try and attack from all sides. Fada coming into Team Liquid. Now they're coming out. They actually missed the pit, and now Fada, as well as Yapsol, they protect themselves inside the snowball, but they're surrounded by
a lot of
Liquid.
damage.
Maybe. Yeah, there is so much damage coming out. Ace jumped into the middle of this fight. Team Liquid, they've lost 2. They've claimed 3 back in return.
Miracle's low.
Miracle jumping up. Ace is going to pop right now, and it's all up to Poppy, the last man standing. Maybe with a buyback. Mid-1, he wants to go for what? A steal now on Roshan? GH is already the medic on the front lines and a regeneration rune just to make a better measure.
Yeah, and Fada and Yaps are both ping it out. That will kind of shut this out. All he can do is try to time things out as mind control.
He's battling Mid-1. Mid-1 can't attack that. That's 4 points up and untouchable. He can drag him back and do some magical damage, but that's not going to help him. Aegis Immortal into the hands of Miracle. A BKB at 16 minutes for the Razor too.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when your 4 position can't do anything and all 3 cores on the side of Liquid are enabled. For a second there, though, it looked pretty promising for Secret. The Firestorm in that small, clumped up area did so much work.
Just imagine what would happen if they actually connected with the Pit of Malice, but it was only half a second. Like, if Secret was there half a second earlier with their abilities, then they could have potentially locked in Liquid inside the pit.
Yeah, Yapsor had such a good Ice Shards. He just locked 3 heroes in there for quite some time, but nobody could really respond. I guess Liquid always had the way out with the 4-step and the doppel.
Yeah. But they have enough items they can escape with. Mind Control's got the entire Hurricane Pike now.
This has been
quick day is a good day, right?
You expect this game at least. It is only game 1.
Goodbye,
It's
Kuro.
Ace. Okay, he needed kills like that.
Yep, the Storm
you come
made
back.
life a little bit more difficult to get out. There's a lot of damage from Mind Control. Ace is going to be okay, though.
Do you remember in Dota 1 where there was no cap to the distance?
Yeah.
And you would do the Chen Enchantress sendback trick at level 1 to get first blood on mid? Man, I love mechanics like that. I mean, that one was insanely broken, so...
Yeah. That's like you saying fountain hooking was a legit thing.
yeah. Oh, mid one. Yo.
thought he was going to bowl that one. But
Yeah,
he
I thought he was going to touch that too.
just taking it.
Good sir. That is a lot.
Just trying to help out Mind Control for his damage stats. But he has Ace Rune, so he's going to start creep skipping out the top. Almost got the Yule Scepter available too. But at the same time, new items start flooding in. So you already had the early Diffuser Blade from Miracle. Nice thing for him when the fighting is happening so early. But now he's finished up a full Manta.
Thank you for not going Battle Fury. Oh.
You mean you haven't been enjoying these late game farming
Mid one?
PLs? Mid one? Okay. But Tubberman had the damage for it.
He had 500 mana.
He did have 500 mana. He could have Ball Lightning TP'd. But can you blame him? Like, Team Secret right now, like, they've got to be in the fetal position. Just like, oh, just someone save us.
Yeah, he's getting rattled right there.
Yeah.
I very rarely, if ever, see mid one make plays like that.
Vada. They're protecting him as much as they possibly can. He's completely out of mana. Poppy wants to help out with the decays, but there's more miracles where they came from. They just keep battling Poppy. He's got 13 one charges. Into the base they go. Miracle and GH together. Yabso wants to help out. The glimpse onto Underlord. His TP will be successful, but Poppy has still died underneath his own tier 3 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's like Team Liquid are just having a field day with this matchup. And Matubberman's entered the top lane.
Yeah, they...
Ace has to come back, but his TP's on cooldown. His TP's on cooldown for 35 more seconds. I'm looking for one of the aces back at base, but they just don't exist, so he's walking one back now as the jump, the back lines. Whoa, mid one.
He is completely out of mana. I think they chase this.
Yeah, they do. He's got one Ball Lightning jump now. Nope, he's using it to kill off the creep wave. It's like is he just saying kill me? He still bought his Yule Scepter, so there's no buyback available on mid one. Maybe he's helping you, Blitz. Nerf coming to Storm Spirit very, very soon.
I feel as though mid one right now is... It feels as though he's checking out of this game. And I don't say that lightly, but... Because like I said, he's one of the Storm... For a while, I think he was one of the few people to make it work, but in this game, there's not a whole lot that he can do. Yeah, this game has got to be very aggravating because they just simply can't kill anybody. You've got to feel pretty helpless at this point.
Yeah. That initiation too, when Ace was basically nowhere to be found, making life so hard. The tier 3 tower will drop. I think Ace is hoping for a kill. Kuro, if he put an Observer Ward up right now, he would have seen Ace TPing and potentially could have stopped it. But it may not matter. Miracle, 20 minutes in, takes the range tracks. Melee coming after it. Mid one, long jump in. Remember, you've still got that Aegis the Immortal. Miracle, doppelgangers, they can't even kill him. GH is holding the hand as they retreat back out again. And relocate. They're going after the Meepo. Ace, maybe try and fight this one. No. He brings the rest of him in just to do some damage, but 55 seconds now without Ace, adding the pressure on bottom. They're trying to group up around the relocate target, so this is huge for Team Secret to lock him in, but they need to kill Meepo as well. GH isn't enough, but Miracle so strong, they burn the Aegis the Immortal. The rest of Liquid trying to come in to help, Enchantress still in the neighborhood, and now Miracle can start fighting again. The Crimson Guard, they're trying to protect themselves. Puppy can't get the TP off Vada, sticks around a little bit longer. He knows he'll be okay with the Dark Rift. Oh, Koro again. Only half.
That thing is getting
only half the second between the glimpse and the Dark Rift.
That is the second time Kuro has messed that up, but I don't think he cares too much.
Right now, no. Here comes mid one once and again. Pit of Malice is nice.
Be a massive kill.
He yells in very deep, and Miracle will go down. 1,000 gold going the way of Yapsor of all people. A man highly deserving. Mind Control, Vada taking 5 years to actually hit him. So, okay, well, use the fire instead. He's got a bloody Hood of Defiance on the Enchantress too.
You gotta go for this.
Here comes mid one. They shard block him in. The Glimpse will take mid one a long way back, all the way back to Fountain because he TP'd a Ball Lightning this. And here we go again. He burns 90% of his mana to reach the front lines. Kuro at least can be sharded up. Here comes your Snowball as they want to initiate in harder, but Kuro 4-staffed in, which means Yamsol goes in way too deep. The pick can hit 4 heroes, but now Mind Control starts to work over on Fada. That one will cancel out his TP, but mid one in once again, focusing on the GH. They want him dead. They've almost got him as well. He didn't go down far enough. Mid one more attack. No, it's still not enough. Now we will finally bring him down. Liquid losing 3 and the
Ace is getting a lot here.
He's gonna bring in the extra friends, but they're coming so late. He was under the tier 1 tower, and with his Meepo at 10%, it wasn't enough. Puppy, he'll get glimpse, so no TP out from him. The wall will even catch him. The electrified fence of death as Team Liquid it's definitely become a little bit more of a bump, but it's also become a crazy pub game.
It's weird because Liquid are so stubborn right now. They're just like, we refuse to not fight you. We have to take this nonstop. This is
this a message that has to be sent?
Exactly. You gotta learn somehow, Toby.
Well, Miracle's taking the mid racks. You can learn how the effect of that's going to cripple Team Secret in the mid lane.
But you can see the impact that every single kill has on the net worth charts. Very well done as Ace. He just walked in there. If he could have gotten the kill on the Razor, that would have been a massive turnaround. I thought for a second that he had it.
What did okay, so Yapzor actually bought a Spirit Vessel. This one requires them to get kills, however, but two will make life very, very difficult for the IO to give that extra life during the team fights.
Yeah.
So if they can start chaining some kills, the Spirit Vessel becomes useful. And Fada, they have the protection. Crimson Guard's doing a pretty damn good job at this point.
Yeah, Secret, or Liquid, by the way, that was a little bit sloppy because the Meepo just walked in Shadowbladed and they didn't instantly have vision for him, so he got a very good initiation to begin the fights.
And now he's going to get himself a triple stack of Ancients too. Yeah. This is kind of nice as long as he doesn't lose his Meepo.
They've got to be a little bit better about this.
Ace actually, does he have enough damage for this?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, he's good?
Yeah, he's chill.
He's going to micro up the Meepos a little bit, thanks to the 10% life, till he gets at 15. But Team Liquid are grouping up on top now. So Mid1's pushing at the bottom lane. He's only a couple of 100 gold away from having the Orchid completed.
Dire's bottom tower is under
There'll be no bounty rune, so he'll TP back home.
It's not easy, but their chances have gone from like 5% to like 8.
I was waiting for a bigger swing in the graph from you, Blitz. 3% is what you give him for this?
10 is a bit much, but I think it's not.
Can I push you for 9%?
Yeah,
we'll haggle this up to 9%.
You can get a 9 from me.
Okay, 9%. Wonderful. As long as like they can find a couple of pickups, the Urn could do work. Now you've got the Orchid from mid-1. So he's managed to get Orchid, Yules, as well as the Kaya. For a 25-minute Storm Spirit that was having a pretty damn bad time, he's managed to boost himself up to 510 gold per minute, and Team Secret are coming to fight. There's no Observe wards inside the base, so it's only a Sentry ward. And it's 4 heroes smoked up. Fada keeping the pressure, the push out, but the same thing's for Liquid. They're smoking up, they're moving through the Radiant jungle, but wait, are they... Roshan's alive. They're going in for Roshan?
Oh, this would be a dastardly play, but Fada can get gone on.
Yeah, Fada's being initiated, but here comes Storm Spirit, the long jump right over the back lines, trying to go on the Disruptor. He was the one that was silenced up, but Team Secret, they've lost 2. The power is just way too strong when Matomamon pops that BKB. A double kill for him. The immunity is just too good.
They want Ace right now. They don't have the vision quite yet.
He's got Silver Edge in 5 seconds. The Glimpse gonna pull him back down again, trying to poof back out again. Able to work all the way home.
Nice timing, but now Liquid look like they just want to march all the way top.
Yeah, pushed in through the mid, take out top. You got the creep wave with you as well. Not much of a defense unless Storm, but man, he's burning so much mana to try and force out these lanes mid-1. Fortifications available to buy some time. Mid-1 actually needs this so he can pick up some mana, jump straight in, straight back out again with the shards. The creep wave's at least licking its wounds, but they're going to catapult the back line, so no issue for Liquid here at all. They're going to take a second lane of racks. Ace still not fully ready to fight. Now the Pit of Malice catching out 3. Shards are pretty good as well. Mid-1 jumping in. They want GH, and they do have that Orchid onto him, but they need the follow-up damage. Here comes Ace walking in. The Meepo proves they're focusing on Matoma, and the BKB will now come out from him. GH isolated in the back line, so he cannot be that heal, but when Ace is down, the damage is gone with him. Kuro's put down the perfect wall, the perfect storm, and Mid-1 will fall. I think that's it. You've got to tap out now. 4 heroes without buyback, and GG indeed. Team Liquid, it took a little longer than the first series did today, but 27, 28 minutes. Convincing fashion, apart from a small little hiccup at around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, that was very thorough.
Look at the smile on Kuro. That was good game, boys. Good game.
I think that more than any outplays, that was just honestly just such a sick outdraft. Like, all 3 lanes lost. I'm trying to normally I'm trying to be a little bit more harsh and saying like, okay, what misplays were there? And yeah, there were a few from mid one where he just zipped in, but honestly, like it wouldn't have impacted the game in any way. Like this just felt like a drafting. None of the 3 lanes could do anything. Nobody could rotate. You saw when they were forced into their jungle, Liquid played that perfectly. They just pushed forwards even deeper into the jungle, and nobody could go anywhere. You couldn't gank any of the 3 lanes because they were either mobile or just hard to kill to begin with. So Yapzor was in a position where normally, he's going around getting kills and stuff like that, but in this game, it's like, where's he? What's he meant to do?
He had no influence, Puppey had no influence. I wonder if it also comes back to the first 3 bans that happened during that drafting phase, because they just didn't get there aggressive. That rotation wasn't there for Team Secret in Game 1, but Game 2 could be a fresh start for them as a full best of 3 elimination quarter-final in the playoffs. So it all will come down to it. Can Liquid clean sweep at 2-0 and make this the shortest day of ESL 1's history? Or will Team Secret finally give us a Game 3? We'll find out.
We absolutely will find out when we come back. Of course, we're going to get some thoughts from our panel. I don't know what's got into these teams today. Maybe they're all on Vodafone or something, because they're just lashing their way through these games. 17 minutes, 20 minutes, and now 27 minutes in our first 3 games of the day. Let's find out what Nahaz, Cap, and Fog made of that one. Great performance, but it was a bit of an outdraft, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll be the first one to say that we all got really excited. We were like, yes, Meepo! And the whole time during the draft that we're saying, there's a lot of melee heroes coming out there versus Disruptor. And also, they first 2 picked Tuscan Undying. So it did limit them quite a lot. This Phantom Lancer pick in the first opener, they didn't really have any ways to deal with it. And when you actually, we get to see a little bit of the beginning of it is Underlord has a poor lane, Storm has a poor lane, and Meepo gets a poor lane. So all 3, they get relegated to have to go to jungle. You have 3 of your cores jungling.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah. And that's something almost every Storm does now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, you tried to warn us, Paul. You tried to say this is going to be a difficult series for you guys on panel, and you got to look back on it. Even between the time that I was so excited by the Meepo pick, and by the time it got down to me on the panel, I'm thinking, this Enchantress pick is really going to give Meepo a lot of problems in lane, and you saw that happening. You don't think of Disruptor as that strong laning hero, but Thunderstrike is a ridiculously efficient nuke at level 1. Ace just was able to establish no presence in the bottom lane from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, other than this, Cap.
Nobody on the panel had a problem with Underlord. Am I just the Underlord hater here? I mean, look, when my problem with this matchup is the fact that you've got a do-nothing hero mid, you've got a do-nothing hero safe lane in the Meepo. He got pressured, he died once in lane and then he died once in his jungle. But that can happen. But then you don't have a hero, you don't have a single core to make things happen for you.
What hero though? What does a Dragon Knight totally change the composition of the draft?
Earthshaker that they banned. No, I don't know. But then, listen, I don't know. I just don't think that Underlord. I've had way too many problems with Underlords in these games. I actually don't think that it counters the Phantom Lancer. I don't think it actually stops him. Maybe it's okay versus laning phase and stuff, but I don't know. I just think that you're limiting yourself a little bit too much.
It won quite a good game last night.
A decent one.
Uberlord.
Whatever, Paul.
Just saying.
I do feel like
can be effective.
Like what
good
we're saying, I think they got to the last pick and they were like, I feel like we kind of need a Brooder Meepo to bring ourselves back. We need something to just trick up the sleeve to throw this game off because they've got Razor, they've got PL. It's a really good game, and they've got GH on IO.
Man, we all said kind of Phantom Lancer is going to go mid, or we're going to have a Razor 1v1 against the Underlord, and with the Wisp pick up, that it then enables the Phantom Lancer against the Storm Spirit. 2 out of 3 lanes are already won.
How many times with IO in particular do you feel like it gets deep into these big tournaments, and we haven't seen a lot of IO? It's not even being banned. And all of a sudden it gets pulled out and it's a trump card.
Well, it is Liquid, but also what ends up happening is we were talking about how they have very aggressive lanes. And what happens when you have IO and you're able to take advantage of all 3 lanes, we even had the little Layerith thing pop up from Pimp
that was brilliant.
You see the runes activated. You see the runes picked up by an IO, and that's the specialty. If you're constantly able to just refill your bottle, stay on the enemy side of the map, you're going to keep that pressure going. I think he had 16 runes collected by 12 minutes.
Yeah, he pairs up with the Disruptor. All of a sudden, they have a kill combo against Meepo. They just run at a hero. They go mid with a Phantom Lancer. He's full HP, full mana, just running at the Storm Spirit all the time. Helps out the Enchantress. I don't know. The laning phase was so rough, and we just ignored it all for happy Meepo.
We got excited for Meepo.
Yeah, we're allowed to get excited for Meepo occasionally. Cap, who was the MVP for you in that game?
Mm.
Anyone stand out in particular?
I mean, they all did pretty well in what
Did
they
their
were
jobs,
supposed to do
didn't
when
they?
it comes to
Yeah.
laning phase. Again, it just seemed like they all won their lanes, so based off of draft.
Yeah, tricky one to pull out.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you've got a better idea of an MVP from that game, or of the tournament as a whole, because our Mercedes-Benz MVP poll is up and running. You can go visit the URL on your screen right now and make sure you contribute to potentially one of these players winning a $50,000 Mercedes-Benz. Thank you very much to Mercedes once again, and we'll check out all the E400 Mercedes memes on Reddit that will no doubt spring up from time to time. Thank you very much for tuning in and staying with us. Stay with us still, though, because after the break we'll have game number 2's draft between these two titans of Dota 2. One is on the verge of making the semis, whilst the other is on the verge of going home. We'll see you soon.
Miracle. He's been hit by Decay a couple of times, and this is why mid one wants to jump forward, has no points up in Electric Vortex, so no control ability onto Miracle, and here comes GH flying over the trees. Another Decay. Miracle, the shards will block him in, but it won't really matter. He's still got 17 one shots up his sleeve, so they go for GH mid one and Yapsor teaming up on him. Farda, the Rift, it will not get him out to safety. And now they even glimpse Yapsor up and into the wall. He starts his TP, and Miracle just wants blood. He'll claim Yapsor. 7-1.
I want to get in there.
Wow, I'm actually
You dead? Yeah, I'm dead.
dead. Never, dude.
Dude, look at that macro pyre, dude. Oh my god.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Life is all about following a few simple rules. Get married. Move to the suburbs. Start a family. Be humble. Time to grow up.
ESL 1 Katowice is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, Alienware, PaySafeCard, Logitech G, and Hacks.
The first heroes I mained in Dota were Slark and Invoker. So I always liked Invoker from Dota 1.
Sniper. Probably Magnus and like Templar Assassin. I changed role. I used to play mid. My mains on mid was Shadow Fiend, Invoker, even when Invoker wasn't popular. But when I changed to support, it was Rubik and Wisp, and those kind of just stuck. Even until now, I just added on to that. But those were like from the start of my support role.
I think my first hero was Vengeful Spirit.
Ooh, I played Dota a long time ago.
It's pretty obvious for me. It was Tinker. I spammed that a lot. Back then I was like a mid/carry player, like playing those like flashy heroes. Yeah, it was mainly Tinker, and then I played a lot of Storm and Invoker as well. Invoker came a bit later, but yeah, and then Naga came after those two. Naga, it was a hero I learned like after 2 years or something, and then we realized, like after watching Miracle play Naga Siren from C, my teammates told me to try this hero out, and then yeah, I gradually learned some Naga.
And my favorite heroes were Rubik, Earthshaker, and Enigma.
I really like those Spectre, Wraith King, Skeleton King back then.
When I first started playing Dota, I wanted to go pro no matter what, and I was confident and willing to play any position, so I actually always picked every hero. There wasn't any hero I mained. Yeah.
Welcome back to ESL 1 Katowice 2018. What was your first hero? A good question for all of the players. Of course, and no surprise to see we had a Tinker spammer in there. I used to like KP, but not anymore. Welcome back to the desk as well. 3 members on this desk. What did you guys lose your virginity to in Dota 2, Alan?
I think the first hero I played ever was a Tidehunter.
Okay.
It was a bad scene.
All right. Cap?
I don't want to talk about it.
Cap, you've drifted all over the lanes, haven't you, over the years? So what did you start with?
So if it's actually Dota, like going all the way back to Dota,
absolutely.
it was the Space Marine with all the auras and Windwalk.
Holy Moses.
That hero's no longer in.
Fogged is like, what?
I mean, I remember. I don't know. That was 15 years ago. I have no idea what I played first. I don't even know what was in the game at that point. It was like there was like 27 heroes, and they weren't even what they were now. So
yeah, I took Loda's advice and started on Mirana, but that wasn't that far. Yeah, it wasn't that far back. Something like 5 years ago, so not that far ago. But that was all right. It was okay at the time. It wasn't great, but it was okay. I had fun.
Hero.
Why? Why did he say Mirana? Out of curiosity.
I think it was because he asked me what I'd played in League, and I'd played a lot of Nidalee, and he was kind of like, there's not really anything.
Okay, so he was like, he gave you something with a skill shot.
Right, exactly. And that's what he was saying. Probably best with a skill shot. So yeah, that's where we went. Always very interesting to find out what the pros all started on, what they are now. It's like you look at KP, and you're like, Tinker spammer, huh?
But it might have been when Tinker.
Magnus S4, you're like, makes sense.
But you know, it might have been. He said Tinker, but it might have been when Tinker was completely different. When people were like, "Wait, you don't buy boots of travel."
Yeah, boots of travel wasn't a thing.
What is this item? You can refresh boots of travel. That's 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But still, that was some good times.
Yeah, some good fun answers in that one. Let's get into our draft for game number 2. A lot of work here for the Secret Boys, Alan.
Yeah, I think it boils down to the lanes. I really do. If you look at Liquid's opening 3 bans, the Rubik, the Sand King, and the Bane, particularly the latter 2, I think they were thinking a lot about the lanes, and then they picked the Razor, and that was going to be their emphasis on the entire draft. And we talk about Undying as a support that's very powerful in the laning phase. Tusk a support that I think is best when he's roaming, but Liquid, I think, had the better of the lanes, and they had the better of the mid-game matchups throughout the draft.
Was there any key areas fogged in that draft that you feel like Secret can exploit from a Liquid point of view?
Wait, what?
So from Secret's point of view, is there anything in Liquid's draft that they can exploit?
So when you were watching Liquid and they were just stomping all over Secret, you were like,
was there
"Where's
anything
that?"
in
Like,
there?
"Oh, that's a weakness right there."
The one thing is that they needed, I think it's the same thing always for Meepo, is they had to have just an explosive Meepo game. He had to get out of control. He had to be level 25 by 23 minutes or so. And I think the Meepo actually could have decent matchups versus the Phantom Lancer if he gets online like that, but they just didn't allow him to. So for me, like Alan was saying, I think adjust the lanes. And again, I'm going to reiterate this, what I said before the draft, before the game's even started, get fought on a hero that he can actually have a presence on in the game.
I mean, the mind-blowing thing is Meepo just got crushed by a team that had 0 stuns.
Yep.
That's a good point. Yeah.
The I am not a big fan of Storm Spirit right now. I know Secret is just like kind of all about it. I don't think there was a problem with their opener. Like I'm still like Undying is obviously still a question mark, but Secret felt good about it, so whatever. Tusk Undying, sure. Then they follow that up with Storm, and then Underlord, and I think that's like too slow, especially against Liquid. I think they're really good at being able to exploit slow lineups like that.
Do you feel like maybe they just thought we can soak it up, and that maybe stops Liquid playing, even though it didn't? We know that now, but hindsight's great. Do you
Yeah,
think
I mean,
maybe that was the thought process behind it. Was like,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
sure
we can-
there's
we
many
can soak
reasons.
this up now, and
Underlord, it gives you this like ability to defend towers and maybe give you some split push and that sort of thing. So maybe they thought it was going to be enough to buy them time for the Storm and the Meepo, but
I like that they banned the IO. I think that's actually what caused the majority of the problems. I'm sure like the Enchantress and everybody, they all popped off, but I think GH just enabled them to be able to snowball so out of control that Secret had no chance back in it.
Yeah, I just think when you talk about Io and Coddle, the first 2 bans by Secret, I think for those 2 heroes, for Liquid, those are like tempo shifters. They're heroes that they can take either at the beginning or even at the end of the draft and change the speed at which their entire lineup plays. And from the time that IO got picked, their team just felt so fast.
Phantom Lancer is a great example of that. PL is not some hero that can just be so aggressive until he has Wisp backing up.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you no longer have to worry about HP. You're constantly throwing lances around.
I mean, he's chasing people across the map.
It's similar to when when I used to see them pick Sven a lot in the mid lane for Miracle. And the Sven, you're like, oh, this hero's not fast. And then he's godlike by 14 minutes because this IO just has him diving towers and running past everything.
Or remember way back when Evil Geniuses would run it with the Treant Protector, all of a sudden you just become an unbeatable combination at the start of the game.
Wow.
Shaker first pick.
And this is how they opened the draft in the final game against Fnatic last night with the first pick Earthshaker.
So you probably just get Razor again, right? To guard yourself against Lone Druid.
I mean, that's how Fnatic responded, and yeah, I think so.
Super strong hero, Razor, yeah. Wouldn't see why not.
I don't think teams have figured out, and that's evidenced by the stats that I gave earlier, I don't think teams have figured out how to punish a Razor open. There are so few heroes in the pool that by themselves feel like they shut a Razor down. And you can handle the hero, but there's not that one glaring counter pick to me.
Naga and Disruptor, both reaction heroes.
Yeah.
That are still out there as well.
I was thinking they could do something just like Razor Sand King or something along those lines, because the Sand King's left in this pool this time.
I liked Razor Tusk, but Razor Sand King sounds pretty good too.
Good Razor Rubik. Oh no, they banned it
They
themselves.
banned it, yeah,
Yep.
they're Secret.
why do we not see so many Razor Viper games anymore? It used to be kind of like the same thing, didn't it?
It's
was
very
like one cancels out the other.
It's not quite as similar as it once was, but it's very hard to pick 2 heroes that do the same thing, right?
You mean the versus like Razor and
against-
one
oh, against each other.
Because
I like to compare it to the Ban versus Omni, where one's just a worse version of the hero.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, was it, that they were pretty similar?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of patches ago. So the Naga for Liquid.
Another hero that teams have had a hard time finding an answer for.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going through,
Okay.
you weren't with us earlier,
Liquid
Cap,
opener.
but we were going through win rates. DK 72%, Razor 78%, Naga 69%, Bane 69%, ET 72%.
Yeah, and
all of those picked more than 13 times this event.
And those are, just this event. I mean, if you were going through, I made a list going through the patch statistics, ELO adjusted. My S tier heroes right now are Tiny, DK, Terrorblade, Elder Titan, and Beastmaster, with kind of Lycan maybe
You don't have
still
Razor
there on
there?
the question mark. Razor's there. Yeah, I think he's got to be there
I
after
think he's
this
got to be there.
tournament.
After Genting as well too.
He was being picked in the first phase a lot in Genting, but his win rate was not nearly as gaudy.
Fair.
I mean, I think it looked like after Genting teams knew how to handle him, but not here.
Yeah.
So Secret, they do the liquid response to the first opener with Razor. Take a TB in your start, so you can actually have a hero that deals with that hero. They have to take out the disruptor. There's already a Naga on Liquid, and Liquid take out the bat.
And do
One of
you
the
as
better
Secret
heroes.
take out the Tinker? It's the question to me.
I think Liquid is. I mean, I'm gonna say it again. Like, I think they're just making Fada have this miserable game. Look at those bans, and they do take out the Tinker from Secret, and Liquid their bans. So they ban out the Nature's Prophet and the Bat Rider, the two off-lane heroes that can actually do something versus Razor. So now it puts Fada on the back foot. What is Fada gonna play to be able to actually have a game versus this Razor?
Yeah, I think the Nature's Prophet ban in particular is just a great read. Now the Bat Rider ban also frees you up to do something like something a little unusual, like a Life Stealer. Oh no, that's the other way around.
Neither team wants Life Stealer.
No, that hero is just so
Versus
so
TB
susceptible to
versus Razor, both of them
countered.
just hard counter. So they get the disruptors banned. So
I was gonna
Jakiro
say
Naga.
Jakiro too. That hero's dope with Naga Siren, and I think
Yes.
it works really well against TB.
Yeah.
The DK's still out there. Right.
I like DK a lot for Liquid.
I like DK a lot for Liquid. Always like it versus the Terrorblade. But then in turn, like, Secret may do the... Oh, I guess you can't do Ursa.
I think Secret could
here,
take DK
because of
themselves.
Razor
here.
and Naga. You like what, Alan?
I like DK for Secret right here. You guys were
Yeah.
talking about it for Liquid, right?
Yeah, we're talking about it for Liquid.
I like it for Secret right here, just because it. Okay, well, look, we talked about the big adjustment for Secret. Pay more attention to the lanes. This is the support that pays more attention to the lanes. It's going to shore up at least one of your 3 lanes, guaranteed.
It doesn't stop people from running at you, though. And Liquid's lineup is pretty run at you so far.
I guess it shares up lanes, but
Give it a
have
switcheroo,
not
go
seen
gyrocopter
Lich.
instead of
I have
DK
not seen
now.
Lich in ages.
Have we even seen a Lich this tournament?
We definitely have not seen
Definitely
it this
not.
tournament.
No.
I don't know how many times we've even seen it this patch.
Yeah, it is the 92nd pick
Of
this
yeah,
tournament.
oh, wow, okay, yeah. Lich has not been picked in Pro Dota 2 in 7.09. 107 drafts so far.
Yeah. I think this is also another. This could be another deny pick here. Liquid taking the Enchantress. This is Mind Control's. Or yeah, this is Mind Control's hero now. If Fada did want to run that one, now they can't, and that's one of the other heroes that you can actually play versus Razor in the laning phase.
And you can just go ahead and keep grabbing TB illusions, right?
Yeah.
Man.
They've already got so much magic damage now, pure damage. I feel like the Lich is...
And Enchantress dispels as well, so you can dispel that Lich armor.
I think Kuro just got mad after losing to Vici the other day. These drafts have just... Yikes.
Well, the Ursa is better now because of the Enchantress, but it's still
Yeah.
not great for Naga and Razor.
Where do these heroes go for Liquid? Because there is a little bit of flex in there, isn't there?
Okay, so again, same principle here as against the Terrorblade. The Pugna could threaten the Enchantress with just burst damage alone.
Lanes, I'd say Liquid. I think the Razor's still flexible, but I think the other 3 we kind of know,
SM.
right? Yeah, which is going to be Kuroki, Jakiro, more than likely, unless some bizarre stuff happens. GH, Naga, and Mind Control Enchantress.
Now, what we don't know is, do you think they're going to go full on aggro try? Because I think I think this is a fearsome aggressive trial.
I think
You've
they
got
could
it.
just as easily dual lane.
You've got a lot of options versus Shaker Lich. They don't contribute a whole lot in the laning phase.
Yeah.
One's a walking fissure, the other one just kind of denies waves and pulls it back.
You can get really greedy and dual lane and try and win 2 out of 3 of your lanes.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. No, I think that's a really key point that you guys just made. That Lich and Earthshaker, they can
They ban
be
the Ursa.
okay, but they do one thing. They're not flexible in their laning potential.
So they take out the Ursa anyway, like you're saying. Great versus the Enchantress. It's one of those heroes that you can burst the Razor before the link actually matters.
Pugna kind of guards against both the OD and the Invoker. Yep. Which I think were
Possibles.
potential last picks for Miracle.
How does the morph look for Liquid?
I haven't seen that here in a while.
Well, we've
No,
seen
we
it a
saw
couple
it
of times against
Arteezy.
TBs.
Yeah,
and
versus
it's
the
worked.
TBs.
It's worked very well,
Okay.
and it's a popular Miracle hero recently too.
To me, Morphling is a hero that you take when
idea.
you're really confident that your lanes are locked down, and I think that that is true right here. So it's definitely got to be on the table.
Ban the
Find
TA.
out what Secret's 5th is.
Okay, that's a pretty good ban.
What do they want? Some Shadow Fiend?
SF, are they even setting up for an Invoker here? Oh, that's gotta be terrible. Though.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't want them to pick Invoker Terrorblade
he'd-
together. I
He'd
think
get
it's too
run out
slow.
of lane. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's the Luna.
What?
Lena.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go Lena then.
All in burst damage, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pugna
That's,
Lena, they're trying to actually be able to deal with this Razor, so they don't have
That's the
anyone.
first time Lena at this event as well. We've had 4 brand new heroes in 2 games.
And I'm sure this is a core Lena.
Yes.
I'm certain. Okay.
Has to be with that Shaker and Lich, doesn't it?
Yeah, they need a magic damage
Yes.
dealing core.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go Gyro and like mid TB or
Well,
something.
and it's the same principle as the Ursa, right? The fiery soul stacks give you the attack speed to potentially get through the Enchantress.
So, a Miracle hero for Liquid.
I think you can pick whatever you want.
Could they take the Gyro?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. That's like it's in his top 5, and it's just kind of a safe round out your lineup kind of hero.
I'd love to see them morph.
I would like something more durable.
I guess you could take Sven.
They take the Shadow
All right.
Fiend.
Okay.
A little bit more standard.
BKB cores
Wow.
versus Lena Pugna cores, because Pugna's going to be that off lane, Lena's going to be mid.
Very classic matchup in this particular one. So, draft done. Alan, we'll start with you.
I don't want to make the same mistake I made the first time. I think there's definitely potential here if Secret gets off to a really good start in the laning phase. They've got just a lot of burst damage. They're going to be able to bring down these heroes, but I just think Liquid have the lanes so well constructed here. I'm going to go Liquid.
Okay. I think I'm getting a 1-1 vibe from the middle of the desk.
Wait, you thought I was just going to go the opposite of Alan?
I thought you were doing 1-1.
No.
Okay, all right.
I was going
Which
Liquid.
way?
Liquid.
Liquid? All right.
I'm going to Liquid as well. They've got a more normal draft. The Secrets
A
is very
normal draft. A
Secrets
standard
very
Liquid draft.
Secrets is very unordinary. We've got a Lich and Lena.
They've got to do nothing. They've got 2 do-nothing supports.
Whew. You're on the do nothing train today.
Do
you are.
nothing.
He's on the do nothing train. 2 men that aren't on the do nothing train are in the caster room right now, waiting to bring you game number 2. Is this going to be the fastest payday of your careers?
I don't care about the payday. I care about actually doing something. I want to cast a really fantastic series.
You've got a Lich Lena.
Yeah, I'm more excited about the Pugna Lena, at least on that front, because at least I get some amplified burst damage of some sort. But yeah, Blizz, what do you think? Like the panel all seem to be swinging the way of Team Liquid. Better execution, very solid draft. Everything looks great. Team Secret. What is that?
Let's go Secret, dude.
Let's Secret. Yeah.
I think TB is very good against Shadow Fiend. I think Secret. I'm gonna go against the grain here.
I feel like I was just forced into that just so a ride or die kind of thing just there. But I
go with me, Toby.
I'm not feeling the same type of confidence that
Why?
you seem to be.
When Toby,
when have you ever led me wrong?
Yeah.
I see. Ever since I doubted MVP, I have a hard time ever doubting you.
Oh, that was.
But this time
that was a glorious story. Am I allowed to tell that?
Yeah, you can tell that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I learned a good lesson from the story.
I like that you're so calm. Because if you were embarrassed about it, that means like you didn't learn from it, right?
Yeah.
It's like we all have those moments in life where we say something stupid and it'll come back to bite you. But as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah,
so
I'm fine. Tell the story, Blitz. Tell the story.
It was before TI. It was a TI4 or something like that, and we're about to cast like MVP versus VP or something like that, and Toby says, yeah, MVP is gonna get stomped, just whatever. And I told Toby, I was like, yo, they've been actually doing pretty well. Like, they apparently beat DK in some scrims, and at the time DK was very good. And Toby's like, that's a bald-faced lie. There's no way that they did that. This is gonna be really quick. Why are they even here? They need to just like, we need to get this over with. There's a waste of time. And then MVP stomped VP.
Yeah.
So hard.
They did.
It was glorious, but he just like Toby took it on the chin. He immediately was like, I was wrong. Damn.
It was actually great timing for me too, because that was around the same time as I was just like, man, I already know the results is going to come from all of this, and it checks yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yes.
Like that's what it does. Like it's like, you know what? I'm not going to believe that this team is going to win just because they've gone for the standard draft, a really fantastic lane. Like, anything is possible. Mid one, fantastic mid player. I actually like having Yapsol. Like Cap was saying, a do-nothing hero. Bullshit. You got an ES that can rotate around the lane. Of course, Fada, this is not so nice for him. This is just all-out attacks. Yeah, he's like, Decrepify. I can at least do some way. He's actually salving through this. Yapsol doesn't have mana for the fissure right now. The GH is pretty low, and Fada just Decrepify salved Liquid's gank away.
And that is why you save your skill point.
Yep.
Very well done. But yeah, it's like every time we have those moments in Dota where we think that the narrative is just done. You know, one team is going to lose to another. This team's garbage. This team's good.
Yep.
Fnatic's bad. Secret's the best. There's no reason to play this game. But it never works out like that, which is why it's such a beautiful game. And very nice save from Fada there.
It's actually kind of hilarious too when you think about it with like where Secret has now found themselves. After yesterday, you talk about Fnatic, like, yeah, Secret's the best, Fnatic's gonna lose, and then Secret find themselves after a crushing game one staring down the barrel of elimination when you're like, maybe Fnatic, no one was thinking that they would claim points from this competition. In fact, maybe you're thinking Meneski. It's just like, you know what? Gross generalization out the window. No one can think this. Great, then everyone else is right.
It feels like a really nice era of Dota. It feels for me like a golden era because everyone is good.
Yep.
Like Meneski almost beat Liquid at Starletter. They had very good games against them, and now they get just bounced like that.
And it's coming from every region as well.
Yeah,
like we're not just locked in saying, oh, it's the Chinese power. Like, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Even NA is kind of representing.
True.
It wasn't on the first day, but
yeah, it was optic and complexity definitely.
Dude, EG lost too. Like,
yeah, and EG.
But it's getting better.
Hey, EG turned it around today, right?
Yeah. They turned it on the last few days.
Spirit. Yeah.
Let's go.
America.
I want one from every region.
Let's go. I just want a good game, so I don't care if we're going to make a deal with the devil in order to enjoy that. Sure, let's do it.
Former join Doters unite.
Oh, we're shitting on. I'm not helping him. Static link. Matamaman's going to do good work here. Looks at that. Yapsor needs to buy some time, but Matamaman's still on 112 points of damage. Decrepify and TP out again. Was it Nahar saying, like, what's the counter to the Razor, like the first phase Razor? How do you counter him doing damage? Decrepify seems to be doing a pretty damn good job right now.
And
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pressure him very heavily so that he never gets attempt at all. This hero, when you let him get online, Toby looks like the best hero in Dota, but when you don't let him get online, deal with him, you slow him down so much, then he doesn't really provide anything in the way of team fight. That's how teams would beat so far in what they have. In this game, they've secured him a very good start. The kind of Enchantress game that the Mind Control had last game, where he was able to just dominate. This one, much more active as up top. Pop a lot of presses. Yapsor already has Arcane Boot it out.
Yeah. He got the boost to start with. He makes the lane, mid lane, mid one. DP support's
Very
coming
nice
in,
stun.
but Live Strike Array stopping Miracle from getting that level 3 raise combination to mid one, which would have been short death.
That would have 100% killed him. So that's stun there. But really good presence of
Matamaman's going again on fire. This time Decrepifies Matamaman. You know what this actually, like, remember? It was part of the
Radiant's
four
top
position
tower
where
is
they were
under
rotating
attack.
around. It's just used for his Decrepify. Just amplify up the burst damage is there. But even the combination with things like Fissure, when Laguna Blade is going to be available, others early rotations can really enable Team Secret to do a lot of damage. Heroes like Enchantress, who went 4 points up in 4 points up in Untouchable in the last game, doesn't seem to be as effective this game.
This game,
Come get healed.
they just can't really abuse anything. So they're not really trying to fight in the middle.
BH.
Insta break.
Yeah, he was right on the edge, max range.
This is why Pugna is such a good side laner. Fast. He just makes it so that it's very hard to gank or get on top of him. Former teammates.
I love this Dire Observer Wall on top as well. Like, he backed up the second he sees Kuro walk underneath it. And it's so far up that it's unlikely he'll ever get dewatered. The Fizz combinations, the blast, the helmet, down to 270 again. When one comes in to get the kill is Laguna Blade.
That was distance. At the last second you saw, he's like, I have regrets, and he tried turning the face into the spear because I think he realized at the last second that was going to deal enough, but very sudden kill, and at least mid one got the return, but a more controlled game this time around. This is what they look like when they actually get to play Dota as Miracle. He's going to have to dodge this time. A lot of damage.
Now he's going to cop it. The Frost Blast is already committed, so he didn't have the move to try and dodge. So now mid one, not only does he kill off the bottom lane Enchantress, which he gets solo experience for as well, he now gets the shared experience for the death of the SF.
This is why that was more of an outdraft than an outplay in the last game. Secret were, and they looked bad because they just got outdrafted. Their heroes couldn't do anything. This time around, it feels like their two supports have the game. They can go around the map killing the enemy lanes. They can kill mid. They have options. And whereas in last game, it felt like no matter what they did, they just weren't going to get anything done. This time around, they actually have places to make it goes down.
Yeah, problematic for him, but mid one's gets a rebuttal. Nice low cooldown. Mid one hits the Light Strike Array. The creep wave is currently taking up his pump. Mid one so low, the razors will connect. Miracle will get killed. One charges up his sleeve. A little bit more life to play with the mid one. He really needed that tower to help him. And the cancel TP from Puppy. He was TP to the tier 1 tower. Now he can't even get back to defend. We also have a little lane rotation as Sparta is now on bottom lane, trying to do something about mind control. Giving space for Yap, sort of gets a blink tag. They're investing into their support now, team.
Very much like this mid duel though going on. First mid one outplays
Sparta,
Miracle, and then the other.
And then they're gonna go again. Sparta's pretty low. They have Jash go for that stuff from Yap. Kuro hovering around. Sparta can back up. There's no shrine available, however.
I'm gonna go for a bottle. Very rarely do we see have exited the meta for the heavy spam in the Lina. Is it
Dire are scanning.
nuke him out?
How else do you find that system? Prepify, blast. Fishy doesn't hold mind control in long enough for the drain to really do enough work from Fada.
This time around, though, they have Magic Burst. Something that they sorely lacked in the last game. What are you supposed to do against that hero otherwise as a early jungle? This time when he was early jungling, the other core on his team also jungle. And Fada had one of the worst matchups in Pitlord versus Razor. This time around, people can actually lean on Team Discord.
Oh, that's nice. There's that combination from Team Secret. Crepify, Fissure, Blast, plus the life drain. And they're doing all of this in one tower. So they're looking for the push. Fada, however, I don't know if he's ready. Micro, maybe he is. Blast, the Fissure comes in. Light Strike Array, mid one. They're at the right time, but they still have to battle through both the Scryte and the 4 points up in Untouchable. Making life difficult as Puppy brings in a quick pause. Small little spike. Kura did TP himself in. 2 points Dual Breath, 2 points Ice Path. Maybe enough to cause some problems for Fada.
That bottom gank. Mid one's first whiff.
Back into the fight now.
Dire's top tower is under
Running
attack.
at 3 heroes, this is strength of the Enchantress, of course.
Mid one doesn't have enough mana to really continue to fight this. Still got another 54 seconds before the Shrine's going to be up to get there. GH starts his move up.
It's Earthshaker, already at a K, much better game than. Although the game slowing down and Miracle able to just raise things out and tower. It's going to be Liquid. Very ever so slight goal.
I do like the fact they're trying to watch the comeback mechanic. So the Observe Force that we're playing got a flagged out because GH got scouted by Ace. Stalked by Darker. But now this goes to
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Passing coming the way of mind control. Got raindrops to try and protect him from this, but there's double arcanes with for this dual offlane. Never-ending spam, and Puppy can keep this top lane held back as well with the sacrifice.
Just sitting down, kill each other as SF does have his ult out. He has vision of this. Try to go first. Is Gabe.
Top lane dive not going to work.
Dire's top tower
doesn't have that sort of size to the cancel TP. He's Pogden's actually TPing to the top lane. So now the dive has failed. Bring in the Pugna. And SF, he found his target. He found it. The damage is way too much. No one charge is available for the Lina. There's no burst life to come his way. Huge solo kill for Miracle. DP support goes to the top lane now. Yeah, front Fada almost holding hand as they head to the top lane.
That was a huge kill though. As a Lina, you can't really lose more than to Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is one of the best heroes in the game right now. Continuously double nuke waves out. Push the wave in, you force Lina to come back, and while you're doing that, the Shadow Fiend is hitting Age Creeps, so he's getting double on the map than you. All of those individual kills are going to make a huge difference, especially in XP too.
Dire's structures are
Reflected
fortified.
the net worth, which will be put on the screen right now, 5.3k
Dire's
for the
bottom
SF,
tower is under
compared to the
attack.
4.2k
Dire's
of the
bottom
Lina.
tower
This
is
plane they're draining again, this time onto GH has the movement speed to escape. Tranquil boost to heal back up again.
More along the lines of what we expected though. Game one between
Radiant's
Titan
middle
and
tower
Dota 2
is under
as
attack.
one. Meet up with
Dire's
Ace.
bottom tower
Gotta be
is
careful
under attack.
how close they get. They're going to come underneath the fresh observe wall that's been planted down by Team Liquid. They're pushing with stole catapult. They know Puppy wants to slow this down, so they go for the blast. The mic up pretty quick.
Should go.
There's a double damage on Miracle. I don't know if they.
I was gonna suggest MC, but it's killable. So, health and a ring.
try and change it up, and he just did the life for now.
Dire are scanning.
Absol's TP. Trying to head towards bottom lane. As far as radiant vision, they don't seem. Hey, Yapso,
they're gonna run into Ace.
Yeah, they're right underneath the tower. Ace is there. Cross up. Actually, Ice popped up. The Magnifier well on target. The blast into mind control. Not enough damage, and Shadow Fiend does just TP back out again. Into distance space, but Toberman's pressuring the top tier 1 tower.
Dual Scepter himself. And also allows him to get on top of that Pugna. Top of him.
Dire's top tower is under
Puppy can
attack.
finally get rid of that Observer.
Dire's
3
structures
ults
are
and a sentry
fortified.
comes. So Team Secret establishing map control, map vision at least.
Secret really want to take this mid tower with this Pugna. Mid.
Dire's top tower is falling.
But Miracle gets the kill.
Very nice distance management on the raises as now Liquid is trying to build up this gold lead little by a second ago it was barely and now it's 3K.
Spikes coming up.
Dire's
Gold
top
and
tower
experience.
is under attack.
Secret just a couple of bad things going their way. They've still got more in their course than they had in the last game, so that's an upside. But 6.7k, the value for the SF, the terrible, still building up in the end. And he's actually got a Yule Scepter coming out for mid 1 right now. So this is a nice increase, at least for mid 1 to get better initiations off by himself.
Never discount the match though. When you're playing SF, you eventually do have to try to go high ground. Terrorblade just hits reflection, he steals your armor, it makes it really get into a straight up fight. TB wrecked you in those.
Maybe that's also why they were focusing on Yapso getting his Blink Dagger. They need that jump initiation and not this. They're currently working. Kuro is coming up, Sentry Ward down, right on top of that Ray will connect, and damn, 4 points up and Decrepified. That's a lot of amplification. Goodbye.
Pearl got straight up evaporated. Something like that though. It had long been kill as Puppy up at the top. Oh man, he's got the Yule Scepter.
Oh, the early Yule for top of it. Puppy. Good luck, Puppy.
He did not fight Puppy. Natsu having a very good series so far.
Such a wonderful cheap item as well for the Razor. He's not the first one to go. Actually, was he the one to do it 2 days ago?
I'm not certain.
I'm fairly certain it was him that actually played the Razor with the early Yule Scepter, and it was around this time as well. It was just gank after gank after gank. Was either that or SEC?
Think about it too, though. It's a nice item on Razor in this game because his team lacks a lot of natural. I don't think of this something puts you in a position where you set up for the Jakiro Ice Path, which is one of the best spells at dealing with the Terrorblade. But I really love Jakiro versus Terrorblade because even when you Mantis split, you can end up caught in the Ice Path. Time it right as Jakiro, you can do it right as he's trying to sunder.
You kind of weirded out. Like, are you happy when the PL didn't buy Battle Fury? Now Terrorblade's gonna go for a Battle Fury.
Okay. Control Ring of Reach. I think he did hot a little bit. He was uncertain where to.
Is the Battle Fury really worth it when most of your damage during the fight is going to be getting from Metamorphosis? Like, it definitely means you're never going to be popping. Like, what's the farm rate? Like, increase in farm pushback. Is that then worth it?
Dire are scanning.
Maybe he's.
The thought. I joked about Bogged yesterday, talking about the old when Rapture by Battle Fury just because it was really good damage, and it's not the old days. Roshan's just beginning, but at the same time, 18 minutes in, Blink Dagger just got perked stuck by Rapsol. The Courier's not bringing it out yet, and look at Roshan bringing him down bit by bit.
Maybe, I don't know. I can get a hood, but I think I need a skill.
Puppy's coming over. It's going to be a little bit too late. All the Naga illusions are on the way. Roshan's too low. Secret any kind of position to fight this. And isn't even a defense song of the TA. This is multiple layers of protection for Team Liquid.
This should be the tower or the rush.
Radiant's middle tower
All the
is
tier
under
2s.
attack.
Point I want to make too, like near these kinds of games, and you have this much map control, you want to try to take the rotations as fast as possible, especially when you think hideouts kill you. You want to make sure, Toby, that you get through things quickly because you want to set. It's never the first Roshan that ends the game. The enemy team up. It's going to be the second one.
Radiant's
so inherently, you
bottom
want
tower
the
is under
Aegis
attack.
to start going on hold down like as fast as possible. You want to get the next Roshan or 2 with the cheese going so that you can attempt high grounds.
Is this smoke gank up on top gonna work? Yapsol still has the blink dagger. There goes the fish.
Come on,
Free wave
sprites.
decrypifying onto the enchantress. More
Radiant's
numbers coming in.
bottom
Yeah,
tower
remember
is
GH
under
does not
attack.
have that ultimate power of Miracle. Stunned up, decrypifying blast down to 1/3 of his HP. Yaptor is still hiding in the trees and he'll blink himself away from mind control.
Dire's
This is
top
buying
tower
space for
is
Ace to
under
attack
attack.
the T1 tower on bottom.
Radiant
Fortification will
structures are
slow him up.
fortified.
Fortification is available for the Dire side as well if they do want to
Dire's
buy a
structures
little bit more
are
time, and they're going to do so.
Radiant's
they use their
bottom
forward.
tower is
Liquid
under
might
attack.
see this and attempt to at least poke. They've got 2 levels of fire,
Dire's
but no
top tower
engage
is under
instead.
attack.
They're keeping the bottom lane. The illusion trying to get off the bottom lane, and
Radiant's
Aura actually
bottom tower
denies the bottom
is
tower
being
by ice
denied.
path the illusion.
For Secret, the game plan is simple. Hold the high ground, force Liquid into positions, be in where they're but it's fine right now.
High mind control. Anyone can use Defender and initiate on this one. Line strike to follow up. Port's kicking from Puppy. Stuff. Chandler gets the distance and now has the completed Hooded Define.
Secret, keep moving Liquid around the map. Let Ace about all the lane flame like you would have tinkered.
Yeah.
Heavy district farm.
But a pretty good gang squad. Like a Dagon is purchased up by Fada too.
Yeah, you need to get these individual pickoffs and just disappear. Guerrilla warfare tactic. Because getting into a straight 5-on-5 engage will not go for you unless they happen to get a really nice active slam. But relying on that is a bit rough here. And Ace, outside of the battle periods, it allows you to farm without the use of meta very, very quickly. It allows you to just spam out the elite too, high amount of mana, but the downside is it's not a fighting item.
It needs time more than anything. The Team Liquid, we know how they play this. They play it hard and fast. 20.
Dire's middle
Tier 3
tower is
towers
under
are still
attack.
up, which is better than we've had over the other series today.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Liquid
under attack.
group up mid.
The downside of the Aegis there is anyways that it does make your team go for a heavy
Radiant's
allows
bottom
Secret
tower
to
is
push
under
in the bottom
attack.
lane.
Dire's top tower
They're
is under
actually doing
attack.
a decent
Dire
push.
are
Armor Live
scanning.
taking off the tier 2 tower. Team Liquid still thinking about going high ground. Now, Yapsor is baiting this. Like, they want to try and fight it out. Mid one starts his TP back now. Clearance beyond that of Frost Blast and Nether.
Easy though, I don't think they go for this. Frost armor on all the towers, all of their waves are gammed out, and the long that you delay this, it allows the team to slowly catch up. During this entire time you're 5-man, Terra Blade is gaining advantages that
He's been farming the jungle the entire time. GH is sending footprints to the jungle to try and get a little bit of a reading on what Ace is up to, but he's in a reading in jungle.
you notice that Miracle's backed up. These guys. 5 heroes sharing one. They're not pressuring anywhere else on the map. This situation as a team, you want the enemy to 5-man because it relieves all the pressure. You know where everybody's
Radiant's
going
bottom
at all
tower
times.
is under attack.
GH is coming at the bottom lane. Yapsor knows this, blinks deeper, and then he's away to safety. But this is a good indication as well. So they add pressure on the bottom lane that has forced the rotation from south. Now, Team Secret can potentially make a play and come out of their base because the pressure is longer on the tier 3 town. Their moves are harder to read.
Stronger than Aegis.
Seth and nope. 3:30 until Roshan can read.
Radiant are scanning.
Miracle's almost got that BKB, 700 gold away from complete.
So we talked about how first Roshan, second one, try to attempt to go high ground. Liquid right now are trying to corral Secret back into their base during this. Trying to make it so that TB has to do plays like this where he feels uncomfortable, he's got the map. So when you just go top, that's 5. Like, it opens up so much for.
I like how actually both TB as well as Lina one's playing. Like they're TPing up now. They have a dire observe wards. They see Kuro, the observer entry from Liquid, a little bit further to the side, and I think coming out from GH. It's like, okay, guys, they definitely see us. Sentry wards down, observer wards dewarded, and this will pretty much ensure that 2 tower in the bottom lane will fall.
Look at Ace though.
Yeah, it's filling up to the top.
This is a I have to do so much work in this game, so I just have to power farm, hope for the best, hope my team doesn't get killed. That's the big thing. Because giving up towers is whatever. It's losing any heroes outside the base, potentially just end the game. He's not quite in fighting shape yet.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
like
bottom
going up
tower
higher levels
has
up in the Dagon. Like if Dagon level 1 normal where you sit, look for other items.
Yeah, Dagon's a 6 for an item. If you force somebody to a situation where they're just imagine this scenario, you're Shadow Fiend, you don't want to pop your BKB, you go high ground, you get Decrep Dagon, in half a second you're at half health. You're not going to want you don't really want to continue, but you also don't want to be forced, especially in team fights, to preemptively BKB. Pugna's such a fast hero that it's very risk for him to, especially with the Aether Lens, to do it from really good distance.
And 10-second BKBs as well. That's a lot to burn for just a little bit of harassment from Pugna. You got to give so much to Team Secret. Like, yeah, okay, we look at the next Roshan as the one where Team Liquid try and push up high ground and take tier tower. Terrorblade got so
Radiant's
much space,
top
they have more
tower is
network
under
in the
attack.
Razor now. Still behind that, the SF, but Battle Fury, SMY, going into BKB. So Ace understands the next time the fight is going to be soon. Mid one has been so aggressive, pushing out these side lanes. The tier 1 towers on the opposite side of the map are always on this. That's what he's trying to. But here comes with the agency model is gone, but the BKBs are up. Team Secret here to defend. There's the Tripify up and running. Media hammer spam from GH onto the towers. Fortification burnt by Team Secret, but they're taking tier 1 tower. Money is still injecting into the defense team. And they're getting more across the map. Like, you look at the experience. They're going the opposite direction. Gold goes up, experience goes down. Just because Liquid is going to the objective phase, they're going for this high ground. This needs to work for them.
You saw Matu, he just got Dagon. Oh, I don't really like guys. And this is the downside also, constantly 5-manning is, when you constantly 5-man like this, you're in a position where you're just splitting one lane of XP in all. That means somebody from Secret, the ace in a game like this, is getting solo XP from entire waves, jungle camp, and your team is still splitting to get 4 heroes.
A fissure from Yapso is nice. The Netherward's being committed down, so the tier 3 tower under attack. Remember, there's no fortification. So Ace has managed to take the tower. He's metamorphosed up, and he's about to reach tower off the top. It's flying out now. Moves can be soaked up by the illusions, bouncing down towards Miracle. But the top lane is being assaulted. They're just holding the defense line. Kuro can get the best ice pass in the world, but here they go. Batumman TP's out. Where's the cancels? The song from the Siren is trying to actually hold them at bay. As Batumman has come back to the defense unit, and they want to keep going for the comes down. The BKB instantly up. So Farda will take a fall for this, but you've still got Echo Slave, you've still got Rage, and TB is taking the tier 3 tower. He's going for the main tower. Coming back, but the TB is instantly. Now it's Miracle. He'll have to around and fight. TB still wants this top lane. It doesn't happen. They have enough kills. This has gone. Then he goes to the ground line. Miracle's still showing the Dagon. Farda is down slow. It's moving the Fissure. Controlling the Nagatara, giving mid one more time to hit into him. Puppy is here as well. He falls back to be involved. They want Mike. So the top lane of Brooks fully damaged, but the casualties of war. And Team Liquid cancelled their TPs, and now Team Secret will get yet another kill on the bottom lane. They hold their own tier 3 tower barely.
That's such a big win for Secret right there. That's gonna extend the game even further. Now the gold lead is cut down to 3K. TB and Melina now are second and third when it comes to net worth. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why we wanted them to go for the Roshan instead, because it's a safer play by forcing this do or die situation. This is exactly what Secret wants. Play these 4v5 situations, allow Ace to continue to climb.
After they take this tier 1 tower, they didn't do that. You just found just the damage room for
I like
Melina.
this move a lot.
This Roshan is now really, really good for them.
This should be massive for Ace to get. This is the Aegis and Cheese, remember? And we talked about how the SF not very good against the TP.
Tiger Illusions are coming. They're going to scout this one now. It's going to take time for Team Liquid to get there. They're still going to try to TP out too. And they're going. SF coming quickly. Roshan down to 1K. There's your media. But buying some time. There's your blink. Switches the life points with Kuro. Fada a little bit in trouble. He'll put the cheese to come to fight Dagon Block. Can't get that. Needs to drain out some life. Cannot do so. Mind control. Now he's hunting for the kills. Fada is down for over a minute. Yapsaw waits in the tree line. Puppy still here, posturing forward. Ace, it's about fighting. Metamorphosis is available for him, so he can do so. They can just get the stuff. Miracle pops up the BK, but the amount of damage, the physical from Ace is just too high. He has to run away, leave mind control for dead. 2 heroes dead for so long. 42 seconds on the 50 seconds over on the Enchantress. The top lane is defended by mid-1. It was pushing in a fair chunk of the world. But Team Secret, these fights are looking so good for them, even if they didn't get Roshan. Everything else from it.
Team fight was so sick from there right there. 4-man fissure that leads into that. Now they're starting to get some control of the map. They finally nabbed that tier 1 tower in mid. Crucial one. They might even continue to go off of that.
Metamorph has got some time on it, so sure, why not?
He's got a BKB too. He's gone for a pure fighting build. No split push, no manta. Farm from the Battle Fury is starting to pay off. Still curious to see if that ring of regen ends up being, but other than that, I mean, Ace now tops the net worth chart. Very well done.
Yapsaw, does he want to jump this mid? He's got Echoes available, and Miracle's got a full creep wave there. I think if Lena was a little bit closer, he probably would, but they're walking underneath the Observer and Sentry of Team Liquid. So mid-1, and you can grab that regeneration route. Team Liquid not close to distance fast enough. So many illusions, or maybe they can. They're looking for the target. There's a Blink Dagger Song of the Siren, but GH just isn't at the distance to do both.
Mind, Shadow Fiend does not want to play this game against Terrorblade.
Yep. They want to end this now, right?
Collection just gets so obnoxious, and that's why the Roshan was so big, because by grabbing that, they make it even more awkward.
How do you force this? Like, you're still going up against a BKB Aegis Terror player. Need a pick off. And maybe they found one. A little bit further out. Line for Grey Rush through some space. Oh, he got it! Miracle just got that.
That's what we're talking about with the Dagon. That's why I'm so okay with it, because Miracle, he doesn't want to be in a position where he BKBs there. But you get instantly bursted as a result, and now you're put into these do-or-die situations as Liquid that you no longer want to be in. And for the first time in what feels like forever, Secret, they have climbed that mountain.
What's something we do every single day? The grip dead stuff. Like, that's
play fast.
Yeah, you play fast, play dead. He was dead so quickly.
That is why you get Dagon.
Yep. It's level 2 Dagon. I just thought he's going into a BKB directly after.
Same, like that. Don't throw away your lead, because you definitely have a lead now. Look at the map. Just
slam. Oh, he combined with Fada to gratify it up for the instant blast, and then just Dagon Echo Slam. So Razor is down. They can force his buyback. This would be so It's in the rest of Kuro and the Star for the mind control. Still on the run, but Ace hard on his. They want more damage. They don't have it for him. Instead, goes in Tier 3 tower. No Rax advantage will come from this. They may consider a backup.
I think you go for it.
Or is it just the force of buyback on the Razor? Is this you get that, you back out, but also that's good for Ace. They want to push this. They still have the AUC more for a little bit longer.
This is a good opportunity to take Miracle, gonna deny it up, understands the position that they're in.
Holds it, Yapsaw, he doesn't do it. He holds it for now, the Ice Blast on 3. You already had Terrorblade swap his life with eye control, so Sunder being used, and it looks like for now, Razor is gonna respawn shortly. So Team Secret, they will back up. Mid-one's very low on life. The BKB is only just come out in the core.
And this time around, the creeps come in clutch for Secret as they take a tier 2 tower at bottom. Deja Vu is
Yes.
Good work.
On breakdown to go against Miracle and Ace. Kills in the 6, obviously Miracle being a lot more involved, but this is a sacrifice that Team Secret they had to make. You buy as much space for Ace as possible. You let that Battle Fury do the work. Like the Aegis Immortal will now burn out. The primary item is going to be the Skadi, and he's becoming very difficult to kill.
I really wanted.
I feel like part of him is just lost now. It's like the value mango.
The thing about Dota is like you buy items like that, you have like buyer's remorse, but you don't really want to part with it quite yet. Butterfly now, the Shadow Fiend. Collection even better. So Pulse got terribly. They're gonna up though. Liquid. Now they're 6k gold behind.
This swing. It's such a dip as well. They were 6k in front, now they're 6k behind. They haven't been in front of an experience for a very long time.
Even though it looked like the driver's seat. Secret's game plan. Background. Let Ace farm out the map. Eventually put that Tinker roll where he'll shove in the wave. They did a very good job at bottom lane holding 4 on. He never even had to come back. And that's the kind of position that you're Terrorblade in, where you create space for him. Now he's very dangerous. The Shadow Fiend does not want to play head-to-head.
This has to be next rush. We've got 1 minute 38 seconds before he may respawn. Secret push out the bottom. Mass 4 staffs, I believe, are also coming out. Here's one for Lina. Yep, already has one of his own. He's actually going to go Shadow Blade. It's where to initiate in.
But Liquid will have a very deadly combo to beat.
Oh, yeah. You get that like we talked about how good Jakiro is going to be against Terrorblade. Like it's hard for Liquid to push high ground. It's still hard for Secret to get the advantage of these.
Radiant's
unless Liquid
shrine is under attack.
into their high ground. That seems to be the easy thing, right? Like some Liquid just actually a little bit too close to get the initiation on. And actually, what is their initiation? It's Song of the Siren, right? Or it's Ice Path?
You Song of the Siren.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Then you try to blow somebody up. That's still a really good combination.
This seems a lot harder than just, hey, Batrider, jump in, get a lasso.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be really cool. Timing has to be pretty much frame perfect. That's 1 second BKB on the team. Use for Liquid is they still have...
Invisibility.
I'm starting to watch this timer even closely on Roshan. We need like a big clock. Like, Pimp, can we just put a big clock on the side for a Roshan?
The next move, Phil.
Yeah, it is.
A giant wave of flames.
You have like Roshan where his arms actually do it for you. Is his arms bigger than that? He's like a little T-Rex, right? I mean, he's not big enough.
No.
It's enough. No buyback. Big moment now. 70 seconds, they can do damage to the lane. Roshan was spawned in 2 minutes. But now Team Secret know have an opportunity. It was the Shiva's buyout. It's what cost the money. And he's short by 500 gold.
AC's invis, they have no sentry for him.
Another puck onto MC, but Song
this is your kill.
Wind it up, and dish it out. Explode the ES. Mind Control has to be forced up, falling away from Drake. Miracle goes up a double kill. Ace can still stand up on the high ground, but he has to help out. Mind Control, 3 heroes. GH in the back lines. Miracle, the big man still alive. BKB's being burnt from all sides, so no immunity protection on this front. But what do you do now? Do you just let the mid-racks fall? Miracle's thinking about coming in around the back. He is there, but they've taken the rack. Rotation towards the top. No buybacks, no reinforcements for Team Liquid. They fortify to buy some time. A little too close. Your center up. GH goes to the extent. A huge kill. He'll have to fight back if they have any intention of holding this top lane. GH on the run. Can't really run that fast, however. Up to the hill. Inside of Fog of War. Back is up. Quickly. Mid one as well. BKB will protect him in a line of run terribly. So maybe lucky. He actually comes in for the Sun. Miracle so low, but Matomaman still holding the torch for the Team Liquid Olympians. It will finally go down. TP's out. Ice Path. He'll get 30 HP boldly going where SF has gone before. Team Secret, they still claim 1.5 lanes of rack, so definite victory for them.
Huge damage done, a lot of buybacks from Liquid. Combo looked like it was going to do so much, but Pug just pops the BKB after the Requiem of Souls. It's only YapzOr that goes down to their kill combo.
They're coming to kill again.
They are smoked up. They want to fight even with their Triple down. If they can
Radiant's
get
bottom
kill
tower
on the Shadow
is
Fiend,
under
that could just
attack.
be the game right there. They've got them available too. They're looking for it at mid one.
Yeah, look at the Radiant scanning. They're looking for anyone that's near them. They don't see anyone
Look at this
defend,
move, bottom.
and they're going to find him. Miracle's coming out. The smoke's going to wear off in about 5 seconds time, but this may be enough. Oh, he's going to lead the creep wave. Miracle, YapzOr jumps in, Echo Slam. Oh, the BKB's there, YapzOr. Oh no, Miracle's going to stand his ground and play. Mistakes were made. Butter is bail.
Butter!
Oh, balls.
You cannot afford to do that.
Can we see that again in very slow motion, Mr. Replay production value?
It's a nice stop, but YapzOr didn't need that from you.
Let's see it again. It's quick, it's fast. So he starts it up. You can see him waiting for the Echo Slam. He wanted the creep wave there, but he into YapzOr, didn't drain out of Miracle. And the beacon protects him and allows him to fight off. That would be so huge for Secret, potentially. Now they look towards Roshan. Pump leads denies the DD rune, so Roshan won't be quick. But then again, I don't think they realize they picked up mid one inside this, so the windup is there with the mid one. He'll get the stun off. BKB's being burnt. It's dead in the tree line. It's all gold. It's absolutely horrendous.
And now Butter has to buy back, and all off of that one mistake. That was such a clutch move from Secret. That smoke down, they avoid the word. They know that Miracle is going to be the one sent down to clear that wave. And just that one misclick suddenly trims you in a position where now it's Secret that we're forced to buy back heroes and Roshan being hit by Liquid.
This back has to be worth. The GH's illusions are scouting out. Roshan so low. YapzOr, do you do this? Force up and take that Roshan, he's down. There's no jump in. Aegis Moyles in the hands of Miracle. They're looking for a target. They found Ace. He'll stand his ground and fight. BKB's available. As well as Sparta from the high ground. They've lost their mid one. They've lost their TB. They've lost the dieback on Sparta. And now the rune of the Team Secret. Oh wait, you've got the immortal Miracle. He stands his ground. Ace is here. Find him. The reflection is up. Miracle. He's like paper. He'll find the Fisher flies forward. They're looking for the target, but GH was able to blink himself away to safety. SF is down for 2 minutes now. Team Secret, the window is open for them.
What is going on right now? Ace also had a buyback for this. Double ult if he needs it. Refresher orb. Or shard, I should say.
Yeah.
Not too useful on
The
him.
mid one, you see he wants to go for the kill.
They want to end the game right now, Secret, or else they'd be put in a position where now they're TB. If he gets caught once, the game is over for them.
Thanks to that observe what they planted down previously, they know that mid one just went invincible. Defensive, back towards their team towers. Liquid will lose the top lane of Raxi. Currently, only out on the TB, 76 seconds until the SF is alive. It seems like an eternity for Team Liquid. Don't believe the pips at the top of the board. It's currently Team Liquid who are one game off. Buys the time, buys the space for everyone to go Jigglypuff. They're just going to sleep themselves out. GH controlling YapzOr on the back, but he blinks so quickly. He avoids the feet. Able to get the finish stop. GH has got a long way east. The defense is still on. 47 seconds, counting down to SF. Ace starts the retreat. Careful of mind control. He's impetus. They do so much work. They're holding the line. The macro platter is down, but the Team 4 towers are in the siege and back in the mid lane. They found GH. He'll fly back instantly. 30 seconds until the SF won't come back up with 4 souls and mind control. Oh, he got stunned up by the leader. Where's the follow-up? Isn't there yet? They still just want the tower. They want the Megas. It's Team Secret. They're committing it hard. Something fantastic. He's opened up the pipe as now Razor is down for 100 seconds. SF is up in 10 seconds. So but this may be too late without the tankiness, without the front lining. Razor, Team Secret, they are backing up for the moment. They will not force the issue. They have got Megas up, and they will wait for a better opportunity.
Can't believe Liquid. The game isn't just over yet. GH ran them in circles for as long as possibly good.
Radiant's
Trying to
top
make
shrine
it
is
time for
under
Miracle's
Puppy
return, but Puppy
is the instinct flies forward. Miracle needs it. He wants it. Looks like it will do very little, but comes back into the front line. Ace gets it, launches up, and Miracle double kill for him. The Absol triple kill in for the SF, but he's got no buyback. It'll still work, however. Instead, they're just trying to control it terribly. He should let Mind Control do the work. The life is too good. Sunder back again for Ace, so he can stand his ground and fight. Buyback protected, but now he'll break free from his own teammate. They're draining out the correct target. The enchant a little bit lower. The instant will cancel that one. Is just way too big. The force up, the Liquid call. GG indeed. We're going to a third game. That game was so poor. But Team Secret come out on top and level this.
you see part of it that relief. That bottom play does not cost them keeping.
Saw that game one, and then game two. What on earth is this game, Fogged?
You said a word in that sentence there that I think might sum it up for me is the Earth. Yeah, Absol played on fire on this Earthshaker, getting multi-hero fissures. I think the biggest part for me for Secret in that game was that bottom hold. When they had A split pushing top, he was able to actually make the Battle Fury build work. He got a lot of farm out of it. His team was fighting without him, and they just kept canceling TPs while he's just going for that Rax, and they forced so much reaction at Liquid. That's when Liquid had the 6K lead, and they completely bounced it back.
I think Secret played really well up until that point where they were just kind of conceding control. They were just trying to draw the game out as much as possible, and they're just waiting for that potential mistake. Liquid tried for that high ground. That was the critical mistake. They had Ace already in a really good position to pressure that top lane and just dismantled Liquid while they tried desperately to be able to get back. They even popped Song and still couldn't make it out. So that was actually, I think, the game-winning moment for Secret, because once you're able to hold past that, then at a certain point in time, your Terrorblade takes over the game. The Reflection beats out SF. So
yeah, fantastic game to watch, Alan, but you know, even moments like this where you think it's going one way, then it goes the other way, then it goes back the other way again. That was brilliant to watch all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Terrorblade, it's sort of been a cleanup hero in this tournament. It's if you can prolong the game for long enough, this Terrorblade hero is going to kill the enemy buildings. And you know, drafts are very, very hard to evaluate and predict when you have the potential for such high-level play on both sides. The Secret heroes may not have been, especially the supports, may not have been the flexible supports that we like to see, but they execute what they do very well. And I mean, how many 4-man fishers into 3-man LSAs did we see in fights in that game at exactly the point that you thought Liquid was going to be pushing? I'm waiting for the full game stats to come up, but I didn't see Liquid use Sleep offensively in that game, and that was to me a really big surprise. Sleep loses so much value when it's only being used defensively.
yeah, they used it on like one of those base pushes where they defended, but other than that, I can't really think of too many times where I felt like on the Secret side of the map, they were using that song to be able to set up, because they had so much, right? They had Jakiro, Ice Path, Macropire, they had the SF combination there as well, and you can get your Razor in just a comfortable position on top of that.
No, that's what I mean
But
by
part of that is
offensively.
like, right, it was like Secret just weren't giving them that opportunity most of the time. They were so good at just being able to just kind of play away from these situations and slowly defend these little pushes, just like little spam here and there, but they never got close enough to get caught.
I love the itemization too from Secret this game. I thought the Dagon on the Pugna was really ideal. Even like, this is like a little unorthodox here, but share the Battle Fury Terrorblade, but the Aether Lens on Yapsor. So he can actually distance himself in the fights to get those long-range fissures, to get those 4-man stuns. Yeah, that was really interesting to see, at least.
I think you probably are outside of song range with the
Yes.
Aether Lens, so you can hit those fissure to cancel certain TPs or situations like that, or maybe catch like SF trying to channel the ultimate or something. It's a pretty cool idea, especially since the nerf to Song of Siren range. We're seeing a lot of these heroes trying to abuse that.
Yeah, Song of the Siren was used only 6 times in the game, and it was used only twice before the 30-minute mark. It felt like there were a couple opportunities in that game that Liquid if they could have used Song to get like 1 or 2 pickups outside the base, could have maybe made some progress in threatening the dire structures, but it never happened. And yeah, I think the Dagon was so key. That makes up for a lack of, that can make up for a lot on your team, having those kill combos with the burst damage to threaten enemy heroes.
And the way that they split pushed, right? The way that they were just forcing the lanes down. You saw mid one was just like going inside the jungle. He would just nuke a wave and just like run away from the wave instantly. Same thing with Pugna, nuke a wave, kind of run away. They just kept forcing the lanes out to stall, to let Ace become that monster on the Terrorblade.
I didn't feel like he was really trying to like hunt for heroes too much, right? Like as you were saying, he was just like kind of focusing on just being able to split push with that Shadow Blade. It was really nice.
All right, well, we're going to head to a game 3. Not that we thought we were going to get one after 20 minutes of that second game, but we do finally get a best of 3 that goes all the way today. It's only 2 series, high quality Dota we expected, but that second game was much more like we expected the first one to go. What are we going to get for game 3? We'll find out shortly.
I think K Gold, and they've got a bounty hunter, so any track kill is going to be worth so much.
I mean, I'm watching this fight up top, but it's not really a fight. It's just a slaughter. EG, they don't need to do it. They're just A-clicking down lanes, and the heroes of Nubia dying. It's actually looking to be on track to be a quicker game than game 1. I can't believe what we're seeing this morning, or this afternoon, or wherever you are in the world.
Oh, you sound about to flop.
I can't imagine much is going on. It's GG, ladies and gentlemen. It's GG, 17.5 minutes. What on earth's going on?
I do. I want to get in there.
Wow, I'm actually dead.
You dead? Yeah, I'm dead.
Never, dude.
Dude, look at that macro fire, dude. Oh my god.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Life is all about following a few simple rules. Dress proper. Get a real job. Start a family. Be humble. Time to grow up.
Ultimately, this trip could bring my career to the next level.
I'm not very worried about losing. I'm worried about missed opportunities.
I just scream and say yes twice.
You try your best, you feel good about yourself.
So what's really going to separate them is decision making and strategizing.
In 2045, there's nowhere left to go. Nowhere except the Oasis. It It's a whole virtual universe where the limits of reality are your own imagination.
This is nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Are you willing to fight?
Help us save the Oasis.
ESL 1 Katowice is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, Alienware, PaySafeCard, Logitech G, and Hacks.
Danish accents are not made up for this kind of stuff. That's for sure.
Oh my god, you're actually not gonna know anything.
Oh my god.
Ready?
No. Perfect.
Your god has arrived.
Okay, sorry. Your god has arrived. Your god has arrived, man. There's only one god in Dota, come on. Can you say it again? Dude. I'm kidding. I guess it's a pass.
Pass.
Unless there's other catchphrase for that one.
Oh wait, pass. You gotta know this.
Ah, yes. So much, mate. so little time.
So much meat, so little time. That's gotta be Butch, right? Thank you. Oh, this one you should know. You play this hero.
Glorious invocation.
Glorious invocation. Invoker. Alright, that's the easy one. Yep. Alright, your turn. You don't have to like imitate that much. Just try to say the sentence and I might know it.
The tide is rolling out.
Like the tide is rolling out. Tide Hunter? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can just say this one. This is easy.
I pull the web over your eyes.
I pull the web over your eyes. Brood? Yeah. Okay.
I've been to hell and back to hell and back.
I've been to hell and back. Lion. Back to hell and back, yeah. Back again and all that. That's right. Aha. Dude, those were pretty easy. Yeah. What the hell? Dude, I have like people just laughing.
You know, I have to say, they could have been a bit harder, frankly. There were far too many easy ones in there, but good game, well played, Team Secret. Thank you very much for which hero. I'm sure we'll see more of that later on. We are going to get into our third and final draft of the day and of our first quarterfinal, of course. Secret versus Liquid, tied up at 1-1. Pretty much how we expected, but perhaps not how we actually got there was expected. Our three panel members are ready for the draft. Let's get their thoughts with Nahaz, Cap, and Fogged. Fogged, we'll start with you. Not quite how we thought we would get here, but it is what we expected, isn't it? We did think this would go all the way. We did think we'd get all three games.
That's all we wanted.
Yeah.
3 games between. This is a grand finals setup, so yeah, I think this is exactly what all of us wanted to.
Yeah.
do.
What's that? ESL? What's that? We can have a best of 5 between these guys. That's great. Thanks very much.
Let's do it.
That'd be amazing. We'd love that.
Then we can go 0-15 on panel predictions again. Just like Genting finals. Let's go.
Oh. It's now best of 35. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we've got you.
I didn't need
just
sleep.
the rest of the tournament is just these two.
The longest tournament of all time.
The other teams just get a handshake and a thanks for coming.
So, what are we expecting, Alan? Draft 3. Have you figured out either of these boys' heads yet?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think that I'm still kind of processing that last match because Liquid are such a good team when they get a lead at maintaining that pressure. And it really, when we all looked up back in the green room and we saw the Ace Terrorblade building Battle Fury, we're all like, all right, I don't know. Because he got that Battle Fury at, I think it was 1830. And from there, he actually got SNY like 5 minutes later. 90% of his hero damage was after the 25-minute mark, largely because he was allowed to go that very greedy build-up, felt no pressure for the next 7 or 8 minutes, and all of a sudden he shows up with that second item to fights, and he's already hitting people.
I guess it starts making sense when we think about Lich, why they picked it, right? They just wanted to stall the game out so that he could farm.
Yeah. And they don't really have any heroes for Liquid unless you're just running out with like an aggressive song or something. They actually didn't have like those kind of heroes to hunt you when you're split pushing. They mostly had like kind of 5-man push.
I think what's really interesting to me from a human point of view is that when you look at the two teams in their respective booths right now, they're both quite serious, both quite concerned right now. There's not one team kind of buoyed by the last game or buoyed by the fact that they won the first game. It's pretty serious.
I mean, the game ended and Miracle was still like smiling and laughing. These two teams, they have a lot of respect for each other.
And they've also been on this stage before. That's what makes the big difference. I mean, Matu ain't worried.
He's kind of bored.
No, he knows he's just playing Razor again, right?
He's like, I'm Razor. I have Razor or Viper.
We were talking, Cap and I, just before or just after the break, actually, about the heroes that haven't been picked and who we might see come out of that pool.
I'll send Bristleback.
I said, because there are a couple of teams left that do play the Bristle, that's all.
I honestly think
Ace used to play
But the likely ones are probably, what, Shadow Demon?
Shadow Demon is the big one for me.
Magnus, maybe?
I could see Mag.
Maybe see one Mag, maybe a Silencer?
Shadow Demon, Mag, Silencer, and Phoenix. I know that Secret like Phoenix. Fada really likes to play that hero.
We're not going to say, maybe Huskar is the other one, isn't it? You might get a cheesy pick. Huskar 5.
Liquid banned Pugna.
Wow. The respect.
He's like, are they just going to pick Razor then? If they pick Razor, we get Terrorblade +1. If they don't pick Razor, we're going to take the Razor.
I think that's 100% correct.
Yeah. What happened to our boy Gyrocopter? He was all the rage.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers don't look that bad, but I just felt like first phase gyro was getting punished. That it was, even when it won, they weren't winning because of the gyro.
I mean, even like, 3-4.
Okay.
They left the Rubik. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, the first pick Yapso hero worked out in the last game.
Sure did. He owned the game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that was an MVP performance, wasn't it?
And it's, he was really, really, really good. I will not take one iota away from that, but the ability of the team to be in position to follow up on that is non-trivial as well.
So we got the change.
Okay, and the Chen. This is again, it's a hero that's been getting banned a lot, especially against EG and Liquid. They don't always pick it, but it is so much. The common denominator in the first two games has just been so much about tempo, and I think the Chen is a great hero in terms of forcing the tempo.
I'm just happy already that we get to see a Yapso Rubik. Ooh, they take
that. It's had a decent event so far.
Okay.
Take Fada's bat very early here.
5 out of 6 so far.
It's something you commented though on Yenis. The
Yes.
give Fata a good game.
Well, we'll see if he does have a good game here, because they could still pick up the other support and a different core to match up against that Batrider.
Well, yeah, the core is the big deal, right? That's one of the big concerns with Batrider, that there are just the cores that dumpster him so hard in lane. The Weaver, the Lifestealer, the Slark. Now, two of those not meta at all.
Why'd you chuckle there, Cal? Because that zoom in on Puppy.
Get into the mind of Puppy.
It really was
Zoom
trying
in.
to.
I would be a bit concerned if, say, I know some teams were talking about how they think Omni actually beats Razor, even though the laning phase matchup is bad. If Razor gets banned and then Omni Knight's picked up for Liquid, their lineup actually looks kind of scary, because they'll have Omni Terrorblade and it'll be against a Batrider.
They're also setting up this Towerblade to have a beautiful game, banning Timberstone now as well, and on top of that, Pugna in the first phase.
Yes.
So this is the make Terrorblade shine.
Well, there have been at least a couple of games of this tournament, the one against the Optic Broodmother, where Liquid have basically done exactly what Secret did in the last game and said, okay, we've got a Terrorblade. If we can just hold out, eventually he's going to give us at least a chance to win. And of course, or he could buy Rapier and end the game in 1 minute.
Sand King and Beastmaster, I think, are the two heroes that I think are most enabled by Chen
SK
in
ban,
this
of
current
course.
patch.
I think Beastmaster is the one hero that we haven't seen as much as I expected at this tournament. I think that hero is just really, really good, even without the coddle.
The big teams that play it, though, it does get banned a lot versus them.
True. No, that's part of why I thought that this tournament was going to be a little bit more wide open, is that the regional metas in the qualifiers recently were so much more differentiated.
Yeah.
Team secrets turn to ban.
So
Dragon Knight too.
If Razor's on the table, I think Liquid can still take it for sure.
Bat's good versus Razor, though.
All right, fair enough.
But I wouldn't put it past them picking him. I think this is more likely a Matu Viper game, though, versus a Bat.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, because then they can group up with the Chen too.
And it's an early game focus hero.
And they do
There's
take out
the
that
Beastmaster
beast.
ban, yeah. It's just that, more that I think of it, there's so much in the pool that gives Bat problems. You got the Abaddon and the LC too, you got the Venge, which Liquid can still run as a support. I guess Kuro's their Chen player though, so probably not. Although I don't know, they ran mind control on what was essentially a support Vengeful Spirit the other night. Okay.
You get the GH Spirit. Doesn't give Rubik any good spells to steal still so far. He pretty much has Sunder.
You don't like Mini Terrorblade?
I mean, Mini Terrorblades. I mean,
the
the Chen spells are okay.
Yeah.
But they're a bit weird.
Team Liquid's turn
Do the Undying again.
Okay.
Maybe
There
they're
are
doing
several really big team fighters that would make you very cooldown dependent, but it would at least ensure that you could win some fights.
I think they want to.
Tide.
I think with the Undying, they want to do dual pressure with the Batrider.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
shut down the Terrorblade.
So then they have to put the Terrorblade in mid, and they have to get well, you said it earlier, Alan. Something like the Weaver. I think, they have to do that, right?
I think Lifestealer could be an option for Matu.
Oh.
Lifestealer
Yeah.
versus Undying and Bat in the lane.
You've already got one vehicle in the Earth Spirit. Make sneaky Chen plays.
You think dual PL? Surely dual PL terribly cores when she's slow. PL is still on the board, and he does give the Undying a lot of problems.
Yeah, I think it's like Lifestealer or Viper for Matu. I think they want something that just doesn't need as much. That can just make space for the TP.
Yeah. Okay. If that. Yeah. All right.
Hit the puck.
I don't think they've committed to where the puck is going. Probably more than likely offlane, would you say?
I think because of the Chen, it is very much enabled. I like it.
Okay.
As an offlaner here.
10 seconds remaining.
Gives you early game, gives you initiation, and I believe it doesn't give you the same kind of pressure that Sand King and Beastmaster does, but like Puck still gives you that combo.
Oh my.
Visage.
Yep. And this is the first Visage pick for Secret this year. It's a hero that we've seen on the rise recently in 5K plus pubs. Highest or second highest winning percentage, I believe.
I don't think you're threatened by the Chen Puck aggro if you're the Ace Visage, because Visage almost feels like a dead lane hero to me because of how tanky he gets from Gravekeeper's Cloak. And then in this case, you don't have like that clear initiating stun, so he just slows you down and runs away.
So with the Visage, do we still have the possibility of like a fifth pick cheese for either side here? We worried at all about the broods and the meepos? I don't
I
think
guess
so.
the Drow could have been. Yeah, Liquid takes out the Drow Ranger.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a throwback strat.
That's what happened at DreamHack.
Yeah.
Liquid actually were the ones to pick the Drow, and they got underlorded. They went Crimson Guard.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So what's the mid one hero?
It's a hard start for a Tinker game. Same goes with OD. So those traditional mid counters to TP are gonna have a rough start.
Maybe. Do we know? Are we sure that Ace is their Visage player? I guess he's like a micro intensive player.
He's the
anyway.
micro guy. That's that's why we would think it, but I guess it could.
I've seen Ace play Visage before.
Okay. I was reasonably sure that was going to be the case, but I wanted to double check.
Anything is possible.
I mean, if not for the Ear Spirit, it's a pretty good mid 1 TA game.
They're really burning on their time for the last band too.
Yeah. Oh, OD for Secret, right?
That's what I was
mid 1
saying.
OD.
But I think it's still.
Oh, did you say that? I'm sorry.
The pressure from the early is a little difficult.
they
Like
still
you could
ban
still,
the-
like those are still traditional counters to Terrorblade.
They
So I
still
don't think-
ban the Viper. So that
Yeah.
does that mean that the Visage could be mid? I mean, Viper is one of those heroes that makes Visage not really feel so fun. You can break the Gravekeeper's Cloak. You don't even have to break it. Your spells just naturally do it on their own. It is that Matu hero more than likely that we're still waiting for.
They don't seem sure.
This is a really tough.
Because they need someone who wins them the game right now.
Yes, exactly.
Because these other heroes, they can fight, they can do all that. But
could have, like,
as
a
for
Visage.
ending the game, it can be really tough.
Oh, Lycan for Secret.
If they
No, that's gross.
Lycan into TP though.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Okay, and
They do the
Secret
Venge.
will take the Venge. Yeah.
So early game pressure.
Do you know? I just noticed so much in these drafts how the tempo shifts dramatically in the last couple of picks. I think that's the mark of a great drafter.
Okay, fifth pick for Liquid to round out the draft.
10 seconds remaining.
Gyro feels pressured by the physical damage focus of Venge and Visage, right? So I was thinking Gyro versus this, because it gives you magic damage and then Tombstone and birds and stuff.
But so many of the other Matu heroes are either out or just countered. I mean, I don't think you want Lifestealer. Lone Druid feels too slow going along with the Terrorblade. Oh, there's the Brood. I was okay. So you always have to watch cheese with those two teams.
Does Brood create enough space in this game for Terrorblade?
Can they deal with Brood and Lane though?
Some genuine concern on some faces amongst the Team Secret players there. And a little bit of concern, I'm sure, on our panel members because it's time for them to choose. Alan, we'll start with you.
I am not sure they can deal with the Broodmother and Lane. I'm going to go Liquid.
Yeah.
You think, they match Broodmother against...
Brood versus Visage.
They try and get...
They're going to try to get that.
Yeah, they're going to try and get that, and in turn you try and get Bat versus Brood. To try and switch that up.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, who
can dodge? This is one of the hardest drafting calls I've ever seen.
I'll say Secret.
Okay.
Broodmother. Liquid.
All right, okay. Very tough draft to analyze. Very tough draft to figure out. These two men have definitely put their mental acumen against each other. Talking of good mental acumen, we've got a couple of men in the caster booth. Are you ready for this game 3?
I'm ready. Blitz is the mental side of this pairing.
I'm just thinking about the draft.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
The panel split, so we get what we wanted, right? We get a game 3 when no one's certain who the victor is.
Yeah. I mean, see, it's like, normally in this time period, I just want to look at the draft and like think about it because it's hard. Like being panel is difficult because you have 2 seconds to respond, and then we have to start talking about it. Like last game, I had the benefit of being able to look at the draft for like a good 2 minutes and then give you my opinion. So, but I will say confidently that whoever wins this is definitely gonna win, and whoever loses is the worst team of all time.
And obviously have roster changes coming very soon.
There's no way in between. Even though it's a game 3 and it could have gone either way.
Yep.
This is a definitive statement that I feel very comfortable making.
It's at this point, like, obviously the captains just have to kick themselves from the team because both Kuro and Puppy are obviously the biggest weakness in absolutely everything.
Crazy. Whoever wins, I'm just saying, has the best drafter, and whoever loses shit draft, please leave my game.
Yeah. Winner of this wins TI. All right.
Which one?
That's the open end, right? I can never be wrong. TI 25, everybody. TI 25. All right, so Team Secret looking to get very aggressive early on. A 5-man smoke gank right into the Radiant jungle. They're going to slip between the towers as well. Yapzor is the man leading the way all the way through. It is a top of a mid-Broodmother, but they're coming. But look at the Watchman. GH has the hill right above Yapzor. The smoke will break him. He's on the other side of the tree line, and they're running. GH rolling boulders away, breaks the tree. And they just want to get the hell out of here. He even leaves an aggressive Observer Ward behind on his trip. But Team Secret hoping for something, but they get nothing. But how's our lanes looking? So we have Kuro on the Chen up near the top. Miracles around them. But Tubberman's going to be playing the mid lane. That leaves Mind Control for the bottom lane as the puck. And then, of course, the roaming GH, who's currently playing around with Farder at the moment. He's just... Actually, he's more than playing. Like, he rolling boulder initiates in. That's 2 points up a sticky napalm. Rubik CPing in. He's got to be quick to get the telekinesis grab. No, he had to walk around the tree line. If he cut through with the tango, maybe he had the range, but Yapzor not going to go his way. The last laning is Ace. He's going to TP down the bottom lane, and then that leaves mid one up on top as the VS. And here they go once more. Rolling boulder forward. Yapzor's going to come in close. He's not going to be able to... Actually, he will pick up GH. 2 sticky napalms once again, but this isn't going to go his way.
Yeah. In a matchup of 2 of the best 4 positions in the world, with signature heroes on either side, GH, he's going to strike first blood. Not the kill, but at least does a lot of damage early on.
this seems to be what Team Secret were looking for, right? Like Fada, he's no stranger to the mid lane, but it's the Brood versus Batrider matchup that Secret were looking for. How do you actually play this as well? Like, do you Firefly? Do you Flame Break with Sticky Napalm? Like, how do you combat the Brood Mother if you're the Batrider?
You just make sure that he can never get on top of you as Ace at bottom.
He's really low.
Doesn't have a salve on him either. This is going to be pretty obnoxious for him to deal with. Mind control. 3 to CS. Yapsor can't really tank this amount of damage. Doesn't really have the regen. Has 2 tangles only. No salve on him either. Is Puppey up at top?
Yes, Miracle going in. GH rolling boulders forward. Just got to keep that slow up. The stun from mid one now puts him in harm's way. Making a break for the tree line. Decazer here. Mid one can't get enough damage as Kuro brings in the tomato. Trying to get in front of Puppey and body block up his former teammate. The kick will fly in. There is no clap available and Puppey will think to turn. Hard to kill off Hero considering he is walking around with 1,000. Life doesn't help him. Double kill for Miracle.
And Miracle at 280 HP, but it doesn't really quite matter as the Tango, as a result, is healing him up for so much.
Puppey's coming in again for another run. There's mid one. Well, trouble behind the lines. It's a 2-man decay potentially. A kick, a triple kill for Miracle, and they can go again. Looking over towards Puppey, there's an entire Radiant creep wave on his tail. Rolling boulder in 1 second time. GH is waiting for the right time. Here comes your tombstone. Where's that line? GH, he knows he wants it to be perfect, and he won't. In fact, he's just staying here to kill off the tombstone on the cliff.
Yeah, and meanwhile, as that happened, our OBS, JJ, the real MVP of this tournament so far, did catch the tail end of that as Matama Man went down to Fada. Very nice matchup there.
How long does this last, though? When Matama then sends an army of Spiderlings and Fada is now just dropping so quickly.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. I imagine he just abused the churn rate, couldn't really do too much as mind control in this bottom lane. Had some success early, but with the help of Yapsor, Ace getting a little bit of control is... Liquid, as usual, they're going to devote a lot of their attention to just helping out their real carry in the form of Miracle on the Terrorblade. We saw what he could do if he gets any sort of good lane.
Yep. It's like Yapsor's the man putting in charge of keeping the mid lane at bay. It looks so weird on the mind control all the time with that cosmetic. It looks like he's got a double damage rune always active. Trying to get the rift onto Ace and slowly tick him down. Only ends up giving 1 charges over to Ace, but he has burned his last tango. It's a little bit more of an even trade-off in the lane. This top lane aggression, I'm not really feeling it. Like, mid one and Puppey together after being dived and having that Chen influence with the rotations, it's doesn't seem to be the dream start, but are you still okay with this if you're Secret? Like, the gold advantage is going the way of Team Liquid. It's just shy of 1,000. 4 minutes in. Do you still feel like you're getting enough out of the lanes?
From Secret's end?
Yeah.
I think they're okay with it. 3 kills to 1 and you're only down by like barely a K. It's not the worst thing in the world for Secret, as I mean, Liquid would really prefer this Terrorblade to be in a better spot when it comes to last hits. He's only got 9.
Yeah, he's 9-1. Obviously the Broodmother's going to get a crap ton in the mid lane. 20 to 8 for the Broodmother.
The triple kill at least keeps him solvent for the time being, and I think they're okay with that.
Yep.
Relatively even start so far, though.
Well, he is number 1 on the network, so even the CS is down, he's the first one to crack 2K.
Yeah. Give me just a game 3 similar to game 2.
That'll be nice.
That.
Kuro's looking for a hunt. At the same time, they're right on top of that dire observable. They may think during the nighttime phase the Puppey's vision is a little bit more restricted. But they are definitely coming for a jump. Yapsor's here, Puppey's in the neighborhood. As Kuro backs out. Got a large amount of damage from both the Hadouken creep as well as from the troll trap.
Yeah, they managed to grab the ward too. Was about to fade anyway, so Secret won't be too sad about that, but
yeah, Liquid lose their own as well. It times out, however.
Tama Man making his move on the Fada. He's got to be careful though. Does have some levels of sticky napalm on him, as don't lose those broodlings.
That's why I'm always wondering, like the broodlings can just run out of the Firefly. Like, is it sometimes worth to go higher points up in the Flame Break?
It's okay, you get at least 1 so that you can bounce him back, but Kuro not paying attention to his creeps for a second.
Either that or he's baiting with his creeps.
Save the purple dude.
They're getting good information.
Yeah, the purple. Oh, unleashes.
Yep, Troll Trap as well. Here comes your Rolling Boulder into the Undying. He's still got Decay available. Drops the Tombstone down with Soul Rip and Decay. 10 ticks charges. Puppey gets back to safety. Vada dies in the meantime in the mid lane as Brood went underneath the tier 1 tower to kill him in the tree line.
Can't believe JJ caught that, the tail end of that.
This is the reason why he's got, I think he's got 9 monitors watching every single lane.
Yeah,
Puppey's in
Puppey.
trouble, and goodbye, Puppey. Nope, or pick up. Yapso wants to create some space, but now he gets Troll Trap up as well. A Miracle, so much damage. Here comes your Rolling Boulder once more. Yapso, so low. GH as well.
They might just die for
Thinking
this.
about coming back in for mid one. He's the only hero that's, like, he's only died, well, actually no, he's died twice up on this top lane out of the 6 kills of Liquid.
GH being sent back, but mid lane, look at Matama Man's dive.
So deep. Here comes, finally, okay, Yapsor wants him. Pick him up, throw him back in again with the AoE stun. This could be some good Broodlings dead as the Fable just continues to bounce strong, but no tier 1 tower available anymore. Hence the dive is so easy.
This Brood is doing so much right now on the map for Liquid, and all of a sudden that lead has now jumped to 3K.
3.5k of that is from just the Brood Mother alone. The nearest to him is Ace, so
this is
the Visage has to start doing something more. He does have his birds up in the air. And how do you do this with a Visage? Like, what's the point of the Visage? You don't just pick this thing for no real reason. Like, how is he meant to be the critical part of Secret?
I'd imagine it's just because...
This'll help.
Hold that
Pick
thought.
him up. Where's the stomps? Mind control, phase shifts, and okay. He'll go down. Rolling Boulder up on top. GH, a perfect double kick. Mid one and Puppey getting caught out, while mid one silence. Needs to get a stun off. Not going to happen. The Tombstone drops down by Puppey. A Miracle. Maybe he wants to start running away from this one. Farda's rotated into the lane, and the Centome is already happening. So, expecting nerf to this more than I'm expecting a nerf to Storm Spirit. Chen sent back.
Do you think that needs a nerf? Chen just got back in the pool. Hold your horses. As Matama Man, he's gonna beat away at this tower.
Oh yeah, so goodbye.
Are you?
Yeah. Here with a pickup, and he throws it
nice,
in,
though.
so we can go for mid one underneath the tower. But we've seen Brood Mothers already diving very, very deep in the early game.
Yeah, this is a massive problem that he's able to just dive under the tier 3, and they need to rotate 2 other heroes to try to help out. Very reminiscent of the game that BP played with Brood earlier on in the tournament with Ramses. And now Liquid off to a similar start. They own the Triumvirate. This is one of the best farming circles in the game, where you are able to hit the Ancients quite easily as well.
Yeah, Visage need to do something about this. Has picked up the Dominator as the first item on the Visage.
Yeah, here's the problem right now for Liquid. It's like, when they look the best, it's because they have these 3 cores that are all succeeding at the same time. When you turn your attention to this puck, you can't really gank him. You turn your attention to this Brood. Okay, sure, you're going to have to rotate 3 heroes minimum to try to kill him. And if you do that, then, well, look at top.
Yep, they're looking to fight. Fortification buys some time. Puppey, under the cover of Invis, is just walking in. You've got Visage coming in through the rear as well, so Ace wants to fight. There's a fresh resummon of the birds.
Sacrifice
They'll have that
GH.
damage, and GH, he wants to be the sacrifice with the Firefly down. They'll sacrifice the Chen army as well as GH, as well as Kuro. So both the supports going down, but hey, in middle lane, Matubberman starts attacking the tier 2 tower. Batrider will come in. It's the end of the Firefly, but so much damage! How many spiders are there?
That is an unexpected amount, as Spada just found out. You never really know until you get hit. That's like 60.
You can't
no
even,
exaggeration.
You can't even click them all. Like there's no way, even as an observer, to count how many spiders are there. As Yapsol still on the run, the spiders are right behind him. At least the Fable's
Look
gonna
at
remove
this
some of the
dive.
damage from Matumberman. He cannot be stopped.
Yeah, go kill top. This is what happens to you in mid.
And it was only like a support trade-off as well on top. Like you took the Chen, you took the ES, and then Matumberman takes your tier 2 tower as well as your Batrider and your Rubik.
It's a beautiful thing to see. Like you can really sense the love that GH has for Miracle. You know, he rolls in and he's like, "Take me instead."
I thought you were gonna be like real masochistic about that.
No, it's like a
no, it's the Brood Mother killing everyone in the mid. That's such a beautiful sight to see.
No, that one was rough. I feel for everyone that has to play against Brood, but this is getting a little bit ugly here. It's 10 minutes in.
Is this when you just ob sentry the mid lane, you start committing more heroes to this? But then again, you've got to keep the Terrorblade down, right? But he's still sitting at the second highest net worth at 5.5, 5.6k.
This is a pick your poison kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's similar to game 1 where if you gank one, well, there are 2 other cores that are succeeding in life right now. And
Here
Secret,
comes Ace, going up to GH. Can't get the stun off on him as he's just rolling boulders away.
Yeah. You notice, by the way, though, GH, like continuing on that theme, he pushes aggressively forward to guard Miracle at all times. Like, this is something that a lot of people don't notice about Liquid is that GH, it goes beyond the saves and the kicks and everything. It's that he's always going to make the aggressive move forward to scout ahead for his Terrorblade, to pop smokes, pop these rotations to make sure. That's why it feels as though Miracle's so difficult to gank. It's because he's got a layer of protection around him at all times. There's some kind of support that's going to tank these ganks for him that allow him to succeed in these games. It doesn't just come down to, oh, Miracle owns the game. It's that his supports consistently put him in this kind of
Speaking of
position.
Miracle, initiated on. He's actually, the birds, they're not going to drop just yet. Not when Chen's right behind him. I also love Yapsaw fighting back now with his own spiders. The supports are creating an army. It's probably the best ability you can steal at the moment.
They're going to smoke up. They need to get something done on the map. They can 100% sense how far behind they are right now. It's already 9K. They know that they're not slowing down any of the 3 cores. This is a large issue, but they might just walk into Roshan and get quite a big pickup here.
Yeah, if they can. Chen's in the neighborhood. Wave of Terror flies in, but Matamba just walks over the hill, but they'll find Kuro. He's got double stuns available. Matamba wants to come back into the fight. Puppey in the midst of it all gets kicked by GH. He does have a soul rip. There's so many units around there, but it won't matter when VS is trapped inside the Dream Coil. That right at least gets some kind of rebuttal as Miracle, who has his streak being ended.
There's just zombies everywhere.
Yeah, and so many spiders. I think half of them belong to Yapsaw. They fight forward, going towards GH. The spiders are really fighting back. They can go back in for Roshan. As Team Liquid, they actually lose a couple of heroes. Mind Control just orbs over the top.
That is so many spiders. I think they can actually do this with this.
They're trying to kill Roshan.
This is how
you have Terrorblade back up. He's we've got a TP already on the way out. That puck damage, Fada on the back lines. He got silenced up, but it's not going to be enough. He still takes to the air, and these familiars, they're hunting the Broodmother. They want to keep the chain stuns going. Meanwhile, a little bit further to the north is Mid-1 in real trouble, surrounded by 3 heroes. He cannot get himself out of it. And now Liquid with 5 heroes want to battle around Roshan. Ace stands his ground against Matubberman. He takes the damage. He's fine for this one as well as they continue just to battle forward. Fada magnetized. The Soul Rip cannot keep him alive, and Yapsaw got a stray rock to the back. He wants to move down, but he just doesn't have the movement for it. So now it's Team Secret with a couple of heroes on the sidelines. Firefly is going to come off cooldown.
Just
But I
march
think,
right back in.
it's too late to actually contest Roshan.
Yeah.
They're all leaving.
When they could contest, it was off the back of a very nicely placed tombstone from Puppey and just the sheer amount of spiders that Yapsaw had managed to build up. I don't think Liquid expected that at all. Miracle got surrounded. A lot of people's worst nightmares. As now they get the Roshan 8K gold lead. Secret, that was a semi-successful fight. Not quite what they were hoping for. They really wanted was the Roche themselves, but no way that Liquid was going to give that up, as they know that the ward is placed.
It gave more value to Ace, probably more than anything else. The fact that he was able to survive through all of that, like there's 2 kills to his name, he's now 3rd on the net worth board.
Yeah, Ace still hits quite hard, but TB is on the other team this time around.
Yeah, that's the downside. And Mid-1 feels like he's got no presence. He's actually got less net worth than the Rubik. And here comes the Broodlings. Mid-1, perfect time to TP out. The kick! Oh, it's in a fraction of a second before the TP was going to complete.
Yeah, the timing on that was...
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yeah.
It's getting rough out here.
I think Mind Control's thinking about a jump on bottom. He wants to put that Blink Dagger and Dream Call to use. The Tier 2 tower is gone. The bottom lane is the only remaining outer towers for Team Secret. They have to be able to hold the line. And it's not like they have the counter, which we saw being played before when we had Liquid versus Optic, and was the keeper of the light, early blast points, and just held back the wave.
Yeah, the problem with this game for Secret is that in the last game, being able to hold high ground meant that they had the late game. Like, they were able to hold the high ground and play that kind of style because they had the late game.
But now it's late game versus Terrorblade.
Exactly, and that's why you're seeing them, in the last game they just held and they chilled. But in this game, you're seeing them go for these aggressive smokes because they realize, well, I don't think we win the late game either. And if we don't win the late game, and we're not winning this laning phase, well, what is our lineup meant to accomplish?
They have to try and fight. There's no other way around it. So Ace, he comes down to bottom lane. Yapsor's going to hold in the tree line. Undying also in the neighborhood. The mind control's not going to take this one. And if they do want to just hold this line, Matumba's happy, right? Like, he's farming the entire Dire jungle. Terrorblade's now up to level 11, just about to crack 10k worth of net worth, 16 minutes into the game. They need that instant control on mind control. But how do you do that? Like, even mid one, he's a projectile stun. Yapsor's the only one. So mind control will jump in, orbs into the tree lines, the familiars looking for him. They need the first stomp. There it is, second stomp, magic missile follow-up, mind control will drop. And the tier 1 tower will follow through. So that's it. I'll wait for mind control to be aggressive.
Yeah, you need these little by little. This is how you're going to come back into this game. It's not going to be any big sweeping motions. It's going to be these mini pickoffs that hopefully lead into more. They were able to get a power off that too.
It's a 900 gold swing and 1100 experience swing, so it works.
You don't need a lot of them.
Fighter's got some information. Invis room, Broodmother's just sitting up on the roof, and Sentry Ward. There's your Firefly up. They need to get that lasso. And the Spiderlings as well want to try and come back down again. Ace got sniped out in the meantime, but that perfect magic missile, Broodmother goes down, but it's only for the Aegis of the Immortal.
You go high ground if you're Liquid?
Well, they just burned Tombstone, so it may be a good idea. They got a minute opportunity.
There's no Firefly either.
You have Fade Bolt and Illusionary Orb, so Yapsor can push that wave back by himself.
I think Liquid just runs in though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
There's the Illusionary Orb, Fade Bolt. Lost a couple of spies to that as well.
Okay, they were like, okay, we have the same idea, Blitz, and then they immediately turned tail there.
This doesn't work. Also fun to watch Yapsor pick up a different item as his first, instead of like that straight up Blink initiation, going for a Yule Scepter on the Rubik.
He needs it to survive right now. I don't know, they need a lot of things to survive right now.
Well, Batrider's working on a little bit to help the team. It's like poor Puppy can't really do much.
This is maybe the poorest I've seen mid one. Personally anyways. Like he's still got the mango because well, I mean why not? Like when you're that far behind and mango is a significant item in your inventory, things have been rough for you.
The smoke gank is on. Yapsor trying to use that 460 movement speed to get initiations.
They need to defend this bottom tower. They're hoping to catch somebody from Liquid unawares, but
they're already backing up, and I'm not certain if they did actually scout it out, but there was an observer ward which was catching just the very edge of one of the team's secret players when they smoked.
They might find mind control here too if they can get the lift.
Yapsor's going to follow him with the illusionary orb, but mind control's going to blink dagger. You can't keep up with that. And even a double damage rune now for the Terrorblade. She's leaving it there for a bit.
Merlini wants me to tell you that it's illusory orb.
Ah, Ben, go back to retirement.
I remember he used to get so upset whenever you said illusionary.
Yeah. Shit happens. It's orb, alright?
Okay, we'll accept that. The Lee Wu clan will accept.
Yeah, when are you gonna join your houses?
Another time, Toby. A discussion to be had off stream. BKB almost complete though on this brood.
Yeah, Aghanim is also approaching for Ace. I'm not certain if that's going to be like the biggest upgrade for him though.
Oh, all right. Well, Chen just passed up bench. If you just blank this right now, you'd say, "Wow, mid one's playing mid Rubik."
No.
But no, that is in fact.
He's playing support. Like we're actually going back to the old school days where Rubik was the mid laner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like if you just tuned in right now, you'd be really confused because we are not used to seeing mid one put into these kinds of positions.
It's that point when mid one has to start sacrificing himself, and like is that also when you think about the Shadowblade build, like if this is actually the way to go, because he doesn't have enough damage, so you just turn him into like full utility and just give the power to Yapsor.
100%. I think he just goes for Shadowblade and Elixir pickoffs. It's one of the best items at increasing his damage for cost, and it allows you to get the burst off. BKB almost ready on Miracle, as he's got one component of it, the most expensive part anyways. Mind Control gonna go for a Lincoln so that he stops Yapsor's immediate lift, and he's gonna be the one sent to deal with these waves. probably the most expendable out of everyone is mind control.
Oh my god, he just jumped straight in. If Yabzor can get the telekinesis grab, the mind control is dead. There's the grab. Mind control is dead. Support's coming in. It's the double damage Terrorblade. Run, Ace, run. Your support is gone. I mean, your mid laner is gone. Poppy's turning around. They still have a fair amount to fight with. As Miracle, he's got Sunder and 17 one charges, and they want to keep fighting because top lane, Matabaman was pushing mid 1. And mid 1 cannot defend this by himself.
Fodder though.
Yeah, he's staying around a very long way. He's got no maneuverability items apart from movement speed of drums.
Have to just tank up a little bit. I've seen Batriders do this. I think he doesn't want to just get into the center of everyone. And I think he's actually sort of correct, Toby. Because if you imagine in this game, if he jumps mid 1, or Miracle, he'll just die immediately. The Brutal will 4-shot him while he's doing so.
So instead, try and at least give some kind of aura to your team that will allow them to survive.
Yeah, exactly. You have another initiation in the form of mid 1. Like, at this point, mid 1 will gladly sacrifice his life if it means that his swap will lead to a kill of a core on Team Liquid.
And then later on, they can think about their jump initiating items. But Team Secret, just full defense. At least they've stemmed the bleeding. The graph is starting to flatline a little bit more at around 12 to 13k advantage. So the Aghanims is up now for the Visage. Putting the 3 Familiars to work. Dewarding, split pushing. Adding some pressure to Team Liquid. And I don't even think it's like to say like, hey, well, we're just going to take this late game by split pushing out. It's to buy space for moments like this. The 4-man smoke up by Team Secret, and they got a fantastic target. Oh, no, the swap range. He doesn't have it. You can see him start, and he just walked out of range.
He's so close to level 12 as well.
Oh.
That would have been the kind of kill that you get back into the game off of, because that would have led to the mid tower. You open up the map even more. It's these little moments that are not breaking Secret's way in this series.
Yep. They really needed that. Even though the Manda style is on the Terrorblade, so he would have still been a very difficult target to kill. He would have been a lot easier than he is now. The BKB's coming out to Miracle.
Yeah, the timing on that would have been perfect. Right before the BKB, they find him completely isolated alone.
They would have even slowed down the BKB by getting that kill and taken the tier 1 tower probably.
And now it's Liquid that go for the offensive smoke.
Yep.
In this game.
They know Roshan can spawn up sometime soon. It's 1 minute. Here comes the Broodmother right underneath them. The tombstone is up, but Ace is the one that just gets obliterated in the mid lane. Puppey will follow up. That is a Dagon build over on the puck. And everyone is running home.
GH's blink.
Can you reach anyone though? Batrider is the one underneath the observer ward. So yeah, GH blink forward. Fada, drum charge. Wand is unfortunately for him sitting inside of his backpack, so he cannot use the charges. He switched it out so he can end up having the TP scroll instead. Mataman just BKBs and walks out. Going in very, very deep. It was the dream call of Rubik, which he actually snapped too. A little bit too deep there for Team Liquid.
Yeah, with some of the buybacks, especially by Ace, this is going to force Liquid, without any BKBs, to go in full retreat mode as mid 1 finally finishes up that Shadow Blade that he's been looking for, and Matama Man parked inside that Roshan pit. That is the next major...
5 seconds to Rosh.
Yeah. Last game.
They smoked up and they were just out of range of the observer ward. So Chen, where's this swap? 3 seconds is still on cooldown. They get stunned up on the way through as the Kuro army. The kick comes forward from GH, only connecting onto Ace. Roshan has just spawned up. And Familiars need to do some work. Team Liquid, they smoke on their side of the river. That was very visible to Team Secret.
I don't think they were trying to hide that, Toby.
No, they really weren't.
Crimson Guard, though, completed on the Spat Rider. It's going to be very nice to play against both the Brood and the Terrorblade. But the initiation is going to be the key here as mid 1. He's going to walk in, see what he can get as one single Spiderling is going to scout out everything as Secret. This feels desperate.
They're starting. Team Liquid are just outside the door. Terrorblade will send an illusion. It's like they're trying to force the fight and then go onto a target. But the Chen army, the Spires, is too easy to scout. Roshan low, 1/3 of his life. They've still got issues with all these bloody Broodlings. The Fade Bolt will get rid of it.
Neither team willing to give this up. They know that this could
Oh,
potentially be the game.
There it is for Miracle. He got his BKB off in time, plus the mana style. So much damage incoming. Mid one will fall. The Bat Rider will follow directly after, and so will Ace. 3 huge heroes, 4 heroes for Secret gone. Yapsor, the sole survivor, to TP home. Team Liquid, that may have just sealed the deal.
That was a beautiful fight as Miracle. All he had to do was press BKB, hit Reflection. He's in the middle of 5 different heroes, Toby. They have no form of control available for him that will allow them to bring him down. So much damage on the side of Liquid. Very well executed draft, 22k up as they will start marching down. Ace has no buyback. Secret are now facing the inevitable tide of Liquid.
Yep. They're gonna get washed away at this rate. Yapsor, he's looking, but there's not much he can do. He's got a Ghost Scepter for protection, plus the Yule Scepter. Poppy's looking at it too. Don't worry, you got a core alive. You got the Vengeful Spirit up and kicking, but your mid-ranks down for the count. Team Liquid will rotate up towards the top. Bat Rider is also alive. Drum charge to burn. They don't have the Visage up just yet. Quick fortification, just trying to stall up some time. Metamorphosis has still got another 1/3 duration. G8! So good! The 3-man blink to kick. And that is most definitely the game. Team Secret have nothing more to fight with. Mid one can sit there invisible, but he's merely a scout just watching death. Even if they want to initiate in, Miracle still got Sunder. The tier 1 and tier 2 towers, the only thing that's slowing him down. Okay, no, it's not. They're just going to go straight in for the tier 4 towers, end this, and force the call out of Team Secret. Liquid want to advance, and they will advance, taking out Team Secret in a 2-1 matchup. They'll get the semi-final match against VG Gaming. And also the appearance on the main stage here in Katowice.
Very good series, very nifty drafting by Kuro. Very well done by them overall. All 3 lanes felt like shutouts here as they embrace. They are very satisfied with their win. They finally managed to escape Secret Shadow and take them down.
Yeah, that's a big victory for them. That's guaranteed points as well. That's actually Team Secret being kept out of the points for the International, making things a little bit more rough for them and actually potentially giving Team Secret, Team Liquid, if they can get better results here, the #1 position going in towards TI. But fantastic result for them. Team Secret props. Game 2 was absolutely wonderful to watch. They had a fantastic run. Unfortunate knockout to Fnatic, and this is where their run will end. In the quarterfinals of the playoffs of ESL 1 Katowice, Team Liquid will advance with a 2-1 victory.
Vodafone presents the post-match.
Our post-match breakdown for the final series of the day. The quarter-final 1 has been completed, and we now know our complete lineup in the semi-finals bar 1 team. Because tomorrow when we come back in the Spodek Arena, we will start things off with the other quarter-final and then have both of the semis, one of which will feature Team Liquid as they take revenge for the last time they played Team Secret. It was a 3-0 sweep last time round, 82 days ago at the Dream League finals. Today, it's all about Liquid's revenge. Can they get revenge over VG next? That's the run they're on right now. It's a real revenge story. We've got some breakdowns of that last game with our panel members once more, and we'll wrap up the entire show for day number 4 here in Katowice with Nahaz, Cap, and Fog. We'll start with you. Great performance. I mean, you could just say they got brooded, but there was more to it than that. It was a bit more nuanced than that, wasn't it?
They got Chen brooded and terribly. we'll add a couple more heroes to it. I think Karoki's performance on the Chen was great. Like, even though you saw the TB's farm in the beginning of the game, he had like 9 CS, but he got that triple kill at 2 minutes. The way that they just pressured that lane, they doubled up the wave. We've talked about it a bunch of times. This is the power of the Chen. You get those 2 waves, you send your creep in to tank the tower. You can just bully these lanes. Even though they committed a full tri lane there with an Undying, they still weren't able to contest that.
Definitely didn't live up to his name, did he, Cap?
No, certainly not. They just fell over time and time again. I really do think that Chen is like the most OP support right now. He actually just enables so much. And there's so many like combinations you can run with it because you can enable the offlaner, or you can also enable an aggro tri-lane. You can wrap on mid. There's just a lot that a Chen can do in this current patch.
Yeah. Having said all that, Alan, of course that brood was disgusting in the mid as well, wasn't it? Early on. Just absolutely terrorized that bat.
I don't have the word for it. Honestly, I don't have the right adjective, but Blitz made a point during the cast about how GH enables and protects Miracle throughout these games. I thought one of the bigger plays of the game, as silly as it sounds, GH actually parked himself in the dire jungle right as the horn blew, harassed Fata's Batrider down to 60% health, TP's back to the Radiant mid-tier 1 tower, and rolls in on him again, had Fata down to like 30-40% health when that lane started. That is not a hard counter, the Batrider versus the Brood. It's simply the best alternative that Secret had, and all of a sudden, you give Matumum in the first wave free, and he's way ahead in that lane. That's what catapulted him off to that dominance against Batrider.
Yeah, it kills the most vital time for the Batrider in that matchup, where a Broodmother doesn't have spiders, he only has webs, and you're just able to play the sticky napalm game against him.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we mentioned like these Broods, these Chens, etc., and it's sad because they do kind of overshadow GH's performance in that game. He had an incredible game at the end there. We even saw that 3-man kick when he gets his Blink Dagger, but it is just such a hard game for Secret to come back, and just because they get the Brood and they get Terrorblade and they get Chen, there's so many summons, there's so many illusions, there's so many things running at them in the fights. That one fight around Roche, there's like 150 units. The zombies.
Shout out to the Dota 2 coders, right? Because the one fight around Roche, you have Brood spiders, you have Rubik spiders, Chen minions, Visage birds, and the game doesn't crash.
That's a good point. Another good point is the man that might have a good shout at an MVP here, not just for this series, but also perhaps for the entire tournament. And GH right now is downstairs with Shiva.
Thank you very much, Paul. I just caught word that Paul said you were in the running for the MVP of the entire tournament, Mercedes-Benz. You need a car?
I might give it to my mom.
See, that's a good goal, for sure. Okay, the series, congratulations, making it top 4 against Team Secret. It seems like you have a little bit of a rivalry going on with Team Secret, always a tough opponent for you guys. How do you feel?
Well, Secret have been looking insane for the past 3 to 4 months. So it's always awesome to play them, especially because we like them so much, and we just feel like they're our like EU, not rivals, just like counterparts. So it's always nice to play Secret, and that's about it. I just enjoy playing the game.
Because Game 1 and Game 3 were very strongly in your favor. Game 2 went wrong. Can you talk to me about that?
Well, we talked about Game 2, like when we finished the game and lost. We just went outside and just figured out what we did wrong, and we just came up with what went wrong this game, and we just tried to fix it for the next game.
And this is your 3rd major with Liquid, and you have not been able to take home a title yet. Do you feel like you're in a better form than in the previous 2 majors of this Dota 2 Pro circuit?
I feel like every major is different because all these new teams keep reappearing and re-emerging, especially the Chinese now. Vici is looking incredible. But I feel like we're just evolving as players and as humans as every major comes up. So I hope we just keep delivering and playing better.
Because you have a chance to play again against Vici Gaming. That is your semi-finals opponent. You lost against them in your group. Do you think you can take them this time?
Thing is, this time we will try to do our homework a bit better and just try to study what went wrong in our games and try to make it better.
Well, wish you good luck. It's going to be on the main stage as well. This should be exciting, right?
I've been wanting to play on main stage for a long time, especially here in Katowice, because you hear so much stories and how the crowd goes insane, how the venue is so big and it's so spacious. So I just can't wait to play on main stage.
Well, I wish you good luck with that. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Paul, it's back to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I don't think GH has done his chances of the MVP any harm whatsoever, frankly. I think the official hashtag is #MBMVP, but I think maybe now it's #Mercedes for mum. Anyway, good job. Well done to GH. Well done to Liquid. They will be playing under the big shiny lights and the big stage inside the Spodek Arena tomorrow as they advance on through the quarterfinals at the expense of their brothers from Europe, Team Secret, who go home empty-handed as far as points are concerned. Alan, I guess it doesn't hurt them too much because they've got a bundle of points already, but they'll be disappointed.
Absolutely. This is a world-class team that plays with a lot of pride, and I think as good as these players are, it is a lot to ask. I believe that's the first career appearance both for Ace on Visage and for Mid1 on the Vengeful Spirit in an official Pro Dota 2 match. I have no doubt that these guys can play both heroes at a top level, but in the deciding game against the best or second best team in the world, that's a tough ask.
Yeah, it is a tough ask, isn't it? Cap, final thoughts on the series?
Unfortunate Team Secret have to go home. Honestly, we would love to be able to see more of them because, as we were saying, we keep on thinking that they are the best and second best team in the world. But, you know, there's plenty more tournaments to come, and hopefully this just lights a fire underneath them to go forward, do better for the next ones.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I'm going to say Fogged for now because I think he might be able to comment on what we've got coming up next. The play faster moment from Vodafone today was a very, very fast end to a game by Evil Geniuses. 17 minutes and around about 40 seconds. It doesn't get much faster than that, so let's check in with the play faster moment, Fogged.
Yeah, this is... Oh, no! They just played really well around this game, and I mean, this one, it just seemed like was out of control from the start of the game, right? They got every single lane they wanted. SCCC kind of struggled a bit in this one, rare mistakes coming out of him, and EG they capitalized on it, moving around the map. Everyone played, everybody across the board on EG in this series. They look so dominant and so over-prepared for Newbie.
I think RTZ said, we're going to come back, we're going to win this tournament. Well, keep on putting up performances like that. Maybe they can make that legendary EG lower bracket run all the way through.
Maybe they can. Maybe they can. Certainly playing like that today. I mean, the whole series was stupidly fast, Alan.
Yeah,
one of the fastest we've seen at any of the majors.
Look, playing fast is it's about physical skills, obviously, but it's also about preparation, which we saw in spades for EG, and it's about mental awareness. And we saw the play that Artur explained in the interview after the game, where he's worried about the turn rate on Terrorblade. Yep. He's facing the target that he knows he's going to sunder, anticipating the silence. Those are the things that make you look so fast in the moment.
Yeah, some great insight as well from RTZ earlier. Thank you for that particular interview. Let's check in with the bracket right now, because the playoff bracket looks like this. Right now, we have 5 teams actually, because of the way that it's figured out. But Virtus Pro and Evil Geniuses still to play. The winner of that will take on Fnatic. Yes, you read that right, Fnatic. Those crazy SEA boys are already into the top 4, guaranteed some points, but they won't be satisfied with that. They will play either EG or Virtus Pro. And in the other half of the bracket, Vici Gaming, who've been on fire this tournament so far, have already beaten Liquid in a best of 3 as well. They will take on Team Liquid in the semi-final. Another chance for more revenge, Alan. Seems to be the recipe for success for Liquid at this event.
And I just can't wait to see that series because, like I think you heard from Mind Control, Liquid knew that in that initial series that Vici had them figured out. I think that team is going to be ready. And hey, we've been saying it since the beginning of the tournament.
We have.
Genting, the top 4 seeds, make it through the group phase without dropping a map. Now, 2 of the top 4 are out.
They are. And there's also one other thing, Cap, in here. We said at the very beginning of this tournament on Tuesday, there have been 9 previous ESL 1 Dota 2 events, and there have been 9 winners, different winners of all those ESL 1s.
Oh.
However, Liquid have never won one and are still in. Amazingly, EG have never won one and they're still in. They lost. They got to the final, the first 3 ESL 1s we ever held. And they lost all 3 finals.
22-0, never forget.
The only teams left in who've won one are Virtus Pro and Vici Gaming.
And Vici,
yeah.
They won ESL 1 New York by Blacks Invoker. Yeah.
Yep, incredible. All that time ago. That was very good memory. It was Blacks Invoker inside the Madison Square Garden. So there we go. Day number 4 is in the history books. Thank you very much to the panel and to our commentary team and all the observers and stats people, all the people behind the scenes. It's been a fantastic run through the group stages. They are done and dusted. And we've even had time to squeeze in a quarterfinal today as well. Tomorrow, we will be inside the Spodek Arena for live coverage of the quarterfinal and the 2 semi-finals as we narrow the field down to just 2 teams. We'll see you then.
Just keeping EG in full fighting shape. You got the passive regen as well from Fear, of course, for his passive. They'll try and jump in Kaka. Just go for the epicenter straight away. But look at this. The Black Hole comes out from Samael. Will be cancelled here. The homing missile out to SCCC, though. No one is dying on EG. This is the problem. Newbie commit with the static storm in the epicenter, and the sustain is too much from Evil Geniuses. This is the kill that they need. Arteezy's been having too much of a free game. They'll surround him. Arteezy's been silenced. There's no way to play out against this one. So Arteezy, I say that! I say there's no way to play out against it, but there is! The backup's there somehow! It gets the time with that sleep help from Misery to get the Sunder off, and he doesn't die! Arteezy, the boy who lived!
Okay, they're
gonna go for RTV here.
Okay, let's
They
see
can
if
get
they
a
can do
glimpse
this time.
and a static storm. Okay, he's just standing there.
All the glimpse. They might know.
Oh no.
He's just gonna die. And
Epicenter.
there's a Sunder. No, he doesn't even need it. He hasn't got it. He doesn't. Oh, the pain for newbie. I can't imagine much is going on. It's GG, ladies and gentlemen. It's GG. 17 and a half minutes. What on earth's going on?
It takes a lot to impress you for a Storm Spirit.
Wow, look at this
blocking Miracle! He uses the small illusion to actually stop him. The shards, it doesn't block! Available for him, so he can do so if they can just get the stun. Midway's looking for us. A 4-man! 4-man finisher! Miracle pumps up the BKB, but the amount of damage, the physical from Ace is just too high. Caught a little bit further out. Light Tracker Ray tries to create some space.
He goes down.
Just timing the creep wave. Miracle. Yapsaw jumps in. Echo Slam is down.
He uses it on Yapsaw.
The BKB's there. Yapsaw. Oh no! Miracle's gonna stand his ground and fight. Mistakes were made. Way even as an observer to count how many spiders are there. As Yapsaw still on the run. The spiders are right behind him. At least the Fable
Look at this
summon
time.
damage from a Tumberman. He cannot be stopped. To stall up some time. Metamorphosis is still got another 1/3 duration. G8! So good! The 3-man blink to kick. And that is most definitely the game. Team Secret have nothing more to fight with.